Yeah, my thoughts. I think I'm a jerk. More of a jerk than I already.
Hello, ai kako, everyone. Welcome to the Downtown Chinatown Neighborhood Board. This meeting is being called to order at 6:03. My name is Ernest Carvalho, and I'm Chair for Downtown Chinatown. We'll go ahead and get everyone else to give you their names and say hello.
Hi, good evening. I'm Laura Sturgis.
Happy Easter season. I'm Robert Armstrong.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kevin Lai. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Hello, I'm Dan Mestis. Thank you.
I'm Nicole Shintani. Hello.
Hi, Ross Isolkane.
Aloha, Chulan Shubutwa.
Sean Fitzsimmons.
All right, and thank you. And sitting next to me is my assistant, Camelia. She doesn't like to speak into the microphone as much as possible. All right, we're going to go straight now to public safety, starting with 2.1 Honolulu Fire Department. Please come up. Thank you.
Good evening. Can everybody hear me?
All right, yes.
Good evening, board. My name is Kaleo Kia with the Central Fire Station, Engine 1. And we read your statistics for March 2026. In March, Engine 1 responded to 1 structure fire, 2 nuisance fires that include rubbish fires or vehicle fires, 24 activated alarms with no fire, 136 medical alarms, 4 motor vehicle collisions, and 2 hazardous materials incidents. Your fire safety tip for this month is evacuation planning. Please ensure that you have an emergency preparedness plan in place for situations like environmental emergencies, fires, or natural disasters. Familiarize yourself with at least 2 escape routes from your home and plan an evacuation path if you must leave your neighborhood due to an emergency. For more information, please visit fire.honolulu.gov. And for notifications for large-scale incidents, you may sign up at hnlalert.gov. Thank you. Do you folks have any questions?
All right. Does anyone in our library have any questions for our Honolulu Fire Department? Not seeing anyone online. Not seeing any. Want to thank you. You have a great day. Happy Easter weekend.
Thank you. Be safe. Mahalo.
Okay, be safe. Thank you. All right. Next up, we have 2.2 Honolulu Police Department, HPD. Are you here? Online.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I'll start off with the stats. We had 8 motor vehicle thefts as opposed to 4 last month. 1 burglary, 0 last month. 24 thefts, 22 last month. 7 UEMVs, which is a car break-in, 8 last month. 11 assaults, 21 last month. 1 sex assault, 0 last month. 1 graffiti case, 0 last month. 4 drug cases, 14 last month. 100 motor vehicle collisions, 89 last month. So a total of 2,230 calls for service, and last month was 2,085. Couple additional statistics I pulled up from last month, some questions last month. We gave 308 sidewalk nuisance type citations in March. So that's sit-lie and a couple other ordinances as well. So just for perspective on that. Someone last month also asked about the real estate signs being left out. I can't remember who that was. I did some research on that. There is some ordinances, but it's handled more by DPP as far as enforcement. And one last thing, I know there were some issues with the illegal game room on King Street, 158 North King Street. Our narcotics division did a search warrant, and I believe closed that last week or the week before. So that's all I have on the statistics. I can take any questions.
All right, thank you. We have anyone in our library who wishes to address Sergeant Levon? Please come up to the microphone, please. Thank you.
My name's Dale Krupa. I have a question about your substation. It looks terrible from the outside. Is there any scheduled repairs of it? Because it's very shameful looking. You got plywood over the door and termite eating all over the outside.
I don't have any schedule. They've been working on and off, but it's not. So I don't have any timeline on the door itself.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Anyone in our library who wishes to address HPD? Sergeant Levon. Not seeing anyone in the library. We'll go straight to line online. All right, not seeing anyone online. We'll go to the board members. Board member Lai, please.
Chair, thank you, Sergeant. Just a few quick questions for you this month. And
Sure.
just if you could give us a comment again about the safety and rules about bicycling in downtown area on sidewalks. If there's a way to communicate to folks who are doing this just to keep them safe and other pedestrians safe, that'd be great. Be nice if there was a way to leverage the cameras and the software that we have at the substation and elsewhere to kind of track these types of things and have a way to allocate a HPD officer nearby on patrol who could help intervene. Relatedly, can you let us know if Fort Street Mall is now open for smoking, bicycles, motorcycles, and e-scooters because of its re-regulation, essentially as a street, I guess. We'll touch again on the very predictable illegal noise nuisances every Saturday morning, every Saturday night, Sunday morning, every Sunday night, 2 a.m. The Bethel Street corridor and that surface parking lot, 1171 Nuuanu. Again, please find some way to allocate some blue lights just to make intermittent pass-throughs, circle the block every so often. That'll help out things a lot. Other notes that we received about the staccato, intentionally backfiring, PTSD-inducing illegal vehicle exhaust systems. They're really hurting a lot of people in the downtown area. Is there any data from the noise detecting cameras on or near Vineyard Boulevard? Why is the HPD report as posted to our board freely editable by the public? Lastly, please comment on HPD District 6 program to bring the towable light array trailers to set up. I found out about the surveillance pilot program that was underway. It has those devices with the blue lights, which seem to be the main feature that's making the biggest impact and keeping things calm. It'd be nice if we could borrow one of those from District 6, bring it to Bethel Street on Saturday night and Friday night. I was sad to see that program expired on 26 February, but maybe you can let us know if there's another way to resurrect it for our district. Thank you, sir.
Is there any way you could email me that? Sorry, that was a lot to track. I could probably answer that a little better on a written form.
I was all ready to mail it to you. I'll get it to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other board members? Shulon Sugar Quack first.
Aloha, Sergeant Freeman. Thank you so much for being at our station and also coming out when you can to help us in Chinatown. We do need a lot of help on Saturday morning and Sunday because we are overwhelmed with beggars, illegal vendors, and it's difficult even with Armstrong Produce, illegally leaving the pallets on our mall, and then the trash start piling up. So we need your presence. We also need your presence on North Hotel Street, where we continually having a big cluster of sit-live violators. So we appreciate your help. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, well, we'll continue with the enforcement as far as Sitlai and Kekaulike, that area. I try to get down there at least once a day on foot, so I'll continue that for you.
Thank you. Next, we have Vice Chair Fitzsimmons, please.
How's it going? Thanks for coming tonight. Just a general question. In light of the double stabbing that occurred in Chinatown in late February, and the news stories this year about machetes in Chinatown, I was wondering what HPD's protocol is regarding machetes seen in our community, because I understand that it's legally allowed to openly carry machetes because it's supposedly a yard tool. But often the people that carry them are homeless and drug addicted, and they don't have yards. So I was wondering what the protocol was for HPD with respect to encountering those type of individuals. Thank you.
Oh yeah, the machete itself is not illegal, so it has to be used in a crime. Whether somebody has a permanent residence or not, we're not allowed to use that for reasoning to, I guess, take a machete from them. If they're carrying it, essentially they're not in violation of anything, right?
So it's okay for a homeless or a drug addicted person to carry a machete openly in our community without any intervention from HPD, right?
I think that the answer to that isn't quite as black and white. Right? We would have to take every incident as it comes in. But yes, just so if me or you walk down the street with a machete, we are not in violation.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other board members? Board Member Sturgis?
Thank you, Chair. Sergeant Freeman, again, around the AC Hotel, there's homeless people. And I noticed where the Sisters Bookstore used to be, one of the big windows have been broken and they've got plywood up. Any word on what happened there or were there any arrests?
Offhand, I'm not sure. I would have to research the address itself, but I can't. Top of my head, I don't think anybody was arrested for that. As far as the sit lie and stuff in that area, we have a particular person who was gone for quite a while and came back to that area. Not sure where he went and how he made it back, but that's one of the guys we are consistently enforcing that on.
All right, thank you. Any other board members? All right, not seeing any. Thank you, Sergeant Freeman. You have a great day and happy Easter. Thank you.
Thank you. You too. Good night.
All right. Here's a quick note from me. At this time, I'd like to propose an addition to the agenda for the following: announcement by Ernest Carvalho to vacate the position of chair, to be immediately followed by a board vote to elect a successor as chair. The additional agenda item would follow item 7, monthly reports. Remaining items on the posted agenda will follow subsequently. All right. So after reviewing the neighborhood board plan and confirming with my rules experts, I believe this is a valid addition under the neighborhood board plan, section 214-111, and will require 6 yes votes, which is a 2/3 vote. That's my judgment call, and I'll stand by. Would anyone like to make a motion?
Motion.
Make a motion? Second,
I second.
discussion. Board Member Lai.
Chair, thank you. I respect that you want to make a motion here, but if the motion is for your resignation, as I heard it, or would it go beyond your resignation? Could you just restate what you had intended?
So first, I'm going to resign as chair. Then, once I've resigned as chair, I have to send a letter to NCO to remove me from the board. And I think it's best for that. So that's the way that would work. So I would not be off of the board till NCO gets a letter confirming it, but I would be off the board.
Thank you. And could you perhaps explain why you want to do this now at this particular time in the meeting versus later on? Maybe it would just help us
I'm going
understand.
to finish up this board meeting, as I promised the other people that wanted to come here and present.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that you've noted that the significance of the letter in writing to the executive secretary. It was our board that established that, verbally resigning doesn't count. So we went through that in August of 2019. So appreciate that you very much. So again, just to clarify, you plan to resign? You want to ask us permission to amend the agenda to allow you to state that you're going to resign
As chair.
as chair, stepping down from that officership.
Correct.
And then you'd like to have the natural execution of what happens when the chair is vacancy occur.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Chair, I move that we go and vote 2/3 to amend the agenda.
Okay, let's call this for a roll call, please. Camilla.
Armstrong,
Nay.
Fitzsimmons,
Aye.
Isokane,
Aye.
Lai,
Nay.
Mestis,
Aye.
Schubert Quack,
Aye.
Shintani,
Aye.
Sturgis,
Aye.
Chair.
Aye.
7 ayes, 2 noes, 0 abstentions. The motion passes.
All right, thank you very much. Next, we're going to item 3.1.
Point of order, Chair. I'm so
Right.
sorry. We just made a motion that was adopted to amend the agenda.
All right, so now that the motion is made to amend the agenda, we're going to go ahead and put it on 7.1, where chair vacates and resigns as chair of the Downtown-Chinatown Neighborhood Board. Go ahead.
7.1?
It's going to be 7 point, the last one on that item. 7.6.
Yeah.
So it'll be 7.6.
A monthly report? Sure. Okay.
Okay? All right, now we'll go ahead and move forward. Presentations. We start with 3.1, Hong Kong Festival. Updates and reports of the inaugural 2026 Honolulu Hong Kong Festival held at 4th Street Mall between Hotel and King Street. Verena Poon, please. Thank you.
Thank you and good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me, Chair. And Pat, in the last 2 months, when we held the Hong Kong Festival Temple Street Night Market on 4th Street Mall, Mr. Calvin Lai asked me maybe I should come here to wrap up the event. Although the event already wrapped up a month ago, but I wanted to say thank you for the community came out. It was estimated approximate 3,000 for the 6-hour period. So that is a very good number for us. We are so grateful to have all these residents and visitors to come to join the festival. So I don't have much to say except that I want to thank, first of all, the chair. Without you, I would not know Ed. So I would not get the venue because of the venue, which is very good for us for the first time to do open market. I would say I would recommend 4th Street Mall as a venue. If anyone is organizing any other event there, I think it's a good venue. So after that, that event, I think the sentiment for the residents surrounding or even Honolulu feel a little bit more positive. So that can be a good positive way to draw people back to the downtown and Chinatown. So for not only just Temple Street Night Market, I would like to also mention another event that we did within the month-long festival. We have the Hong Kong Traditional Lifestyle Tour in Chinatown, which is held every Sunday. So what it mean was in February, every Sunday, 4 Sunday, but we skipped one time because it was heavy rain and storm. That's one Sunday we have to cancel. But other than that, we have approximately 55 people experience the tour. The tour is not just regular tour, look at the building in Chinatown. It's involved Tai Chi, it's involved Chinese tea demonstration, it's involved feng shui, how to make Chinatown better. So also, of course, the last one is food, the dim sum. So it's attract a lot of oversee, I mean, the out-of-state people also, as well as some retired teachers. So I don't know why retired teachers like to join us, but that's the fact. So if moving forward next year, maybe if we don't have funding from the big sponsor, so probably we will do the Chinatown tour again. I think that's the easy way. But anyway, once again, thank you so much. This is, I have to appreciate every single one of you for your support. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Barina. Hold on. We're gonna finish. Anyone in our library has any questions for Ms. Poon? Not seeing anyone online. All right, not seeing any. We'll go ahead with Board Member Shulon Schubert Kwok, please.
Sabrina, we know each other a long time.
Yes.
And so I congratulate you. It's very well received. And thank you for injecting a lot of energy and joy with this festival, the first time. And I think it's a wonderful festival catering to all ages. I also wish that you get more stalls that sell food because they ran out. And so people have to go to restaurants, but it's good because people need to eat. So the noodle store at 4th Street Mall did a gangbuster business because I think if next year with more time, you can track more noodles and, dumplings and things like that, that people identify with Hong Kong. But it is a great venue and it was safe. And I was really thrilled by the dragon dances, the lion dances, and all the cultural shows. So it was great to have to use every space. You have the Kapuna stage area so they can sit and eat, and tables and chairs. So people felt welcome and attended to. So that's your great work. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, any other board members? Go ahead, Board Member Lai, please.
Chair, thank you. Ms. Poon, thank you for coming tonight. I just want everyone to know that she's being very, very humble. The event throughout the course of the month was very positive, very exciting. And there were certain things that are in her written report here that you may not have had a chance to see, but I want to particularly call out the Hong Kong Export Day, which I had a chance to attend and met a lot of very interesting people from all over the world who were there and just gave some great ideas about how industry and exports in Hawaii can improve. And then also the Hong Kong at Your Doorstep project with the different restaurants. I had a chance to visit 10 or 12 of them towards the end of the month of February. I think we'll have a report to give to you about that for next year if it comes around again. But again, just thank you for this positive event for the community and keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other board members? Not seeing any. Barina, I want to thank you, and I'm glad I was able to help you out. Enjoyed everything. I just have one question.
Okay.
Who won the trip to Hong Kong?
Oh, yeah, accidentally what we done is we didn't do it online, like the spring the wheel. We call up Kelvin Say, our former speaker, to go to Blaisdell. Just happened that day they have a trade show. So, and I said, Kelvin, can you go down there? So I bring the number, the number for those people. Then I already have a sheet, originally. So they all affiliate with a number. So I said, just pick one. So he did pick one. So that lady, one is a accountant, I think, work for someone, is a Chinese last name. So anyway, and she was originally from Hong Kong. She told me she just went to Ala Moana Center area. There's a store, is a drink, whatever, I forgot up on my head. So she just buy a drink. And then she saw the sign. She said, can I enter? So they let her enter. So just one drink, and then she won. So just so lucky.
Awesome.
And she might come with us to go to Hong Kong Forum. I'm convinced her.
Awesome. I hope you continue the event. It was truly a great event and showcase that 4th Street can be putting on events like this all the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Next up, we have 3.2, garden art presentation. This one is dear to my heart. Garden art project introduction and special district permit application by Evan Wright, project development manager, and Keolo Chan, Wilson Okamoto Corporation. Go ahead, Evan.
Hello, everybody. My name is Evan Wright, and I'm working on the Pier 7 and HECO project. We have a quick agenda today that we're going to be going over in the next 5 minutes, and then hopefully I can answer some questions at the end. To give some background on Garden Art LLC, we own and operate the Seattle Space Needle, as well as Chihuly Garden Glass. So in 2007, when the Supersonics left, local businesses really started to suffer, specifically the Seattle Center. Some of the businesses ended up not being able to pay rent and had to close their doors. My dad, Jeff Wright, had the idea on how to revitalize the area. He wanted a public and private partnership that benefited the community. He reached out to Dale Chihuly, who was a local Seattle artist, as well as a world-renowned artist, asking if Dale would do an art exhibition for 65 years in downtown Seattle. Ultimately, Dale said yes. We took no public money, it was strictly privately funded, and our goal was to utilize Chihuly's works to revitalize the area. We were hoping for around 300,000 people a year. We exceeded our expectations. Year one, we had 500,000 people come through our doors. We've continued to grow that number ever since, and we've been able to revitalize the area. Ultimately, we've had a lot of positives over the last 13 years, and this next slide will show that. We've paid more than $10 million in taxes and rent to the city. We've been able to partner with, with the local community to include youths and adults in arts. We've been able to hire more than 150 full-time employees, and we continue to give back to the schools as well as the local Seattle campus. After a couple of years, we wanted to show Chihuly's works in other places. We've looked in London, Venice, Tokyo, and Sydney. However, Chihuly requested we look in Honolulu because in 1992, the Honolulu Academy of Arts had a short-term exhibition, and it was Chihuly's first time using gardens to display his art. Ultimately, Honolulu Academy of Arts changed the placement of art for the rest of his career. Now, for the last 8 years, we have been learning about the community, learning about the city, and learning about the people. And we believe we found a location that will allow us to show the art as well as be good community members. Now, the next slide is going to show where that location would be.
So the project site is located at Pier 7. And the former HECO power plant site within the Aloha Tower complex. So the Pier 7 site is a little under 1 acre at 0.8 acres, and the HECO site is approximately 3.4 acres, but it'll only occupy a portion of the site. Pier 7 currently houses the former Hawaii Maritime Center, which closed in 2009, and it has since been vacant. The HECO power plant was decommissioned in 2014, and that also has remained largely unused since then. So the state of Hawaii owns the Pier 7 site and HECO owns the former power plant site. The project is located within the Urban State Land Use District, and then the Pier 7 site is located in the Hawaii Capital Special District, and the HECO site is located in the B2 Community Business District, and access to the site is provided via Aloha Tower Drive, Bishop Street, and Ala Moana Boulevard. So just a little bit about the proposed project. The proposed project aims to revitalize both the Pier 7 site and the former HECO site. So the existing Maritime Center atop Pier 7 will be demolished and a new building will be constructed, and this will feature indoor and outdoor gardens with native Hawaiian plants and open deck areas, as well as a bar and a restaurant. And then the HECO site will undergo renovations to the existing structure with intentions of preserving the building's exterior and historic features. So renovations will primarily target the interior main level spaces for art galleries, a retail space, and a lobby.
Mm-hmm. Now, both properties have been abandoned for more than a decade, and a big part of this project is bringing new energy to revitalize the area. Over the next couple slides here, you'll see how the building has been abandoned. You see the ruggedness of the steel, the concrete that was built and used in World War II. And we hope to be able to utilize that to show the art. Utilizing all 50,000 square feet in HECO, as well as be able to utilize Pier 7. Next slide. The HECO building will be mostly interior work and not much on the exterior, so that building will remain constant. However, the Pier 7 building design is really going to be utilizing the old bones that were there as a historical nod to what the Maritime Museum used to be, as well as the potential it has in the future. Ultimately, we want to be able to show the glass art in a Hawaiian indigenous garden. Ultimately, that'll be a lot of rich and beautiful greens of local plants, as well as being able to tell the story of how some of the plants came here over the last 100 to 200 years. I know I have about 5 minutes and that was a lot of information, but
Thank you, I appreciate it.
I'm doing my best. Yeah, I had to try to keep it.
If you got more, keep on going.
Okay, so we have more renderings here. There's going to be a food and beverage component on the second floor, but the first floor will be strictly garden as well as some small air-conditioned space. We believe that this is really going to help bring back some of the energy that used to be close to Aloha Tower, as well as just provide economic incentive for local glass artists, as University of Hawaii has the second oldest glassblowing program in North America. We're really excited about this, as well as just the possibility of the local partnerships it'll bring. Next. Here's an interior shot of what the gardens would be. And then here is the walking paths of how the two properties would be connected. The guests would be able to enter through HECO, go through 7 unique galleries, and then be able to cross the street onto Pier 7, where they'd be able to go through more than 20,000 square feet of Hawaiian indigenous garden.
And as a first component for the project, we actually completed an environmental assessment, which was finalized in February. The final EA was published on February 8th with a finding of no significant impact. The assessment evaluated key areas such as traffic and access, noise, air quality, cultural, historic, and coastal resources. In addition, several supplemental studies were prepared to further inform the analysis. So these included a natural resources assessment and archaeological lit review, a reconnaissance level survey, a cultural assessment, an environmental site assessment for hazardous materials, and a traffic impact report, as well as a preliminary engineering report. So together, these studies provide a comprehensive understanding of the existing conditions and potential impacts. And overall, the EA concluded that it would not result in any significant long-term effects. Okay, that concludes our presentation. We're open to any questions that you guys may have at this time.
All right, thank you both very much. Do we have any members in our lobby who wishes to ask any questions? Please come up to the microphone.
Sorry, hi, I'm Patrick Smith. I just wondered about the parking. Is there going to be any increase in parking, or is it going to remain the same with that one lot and maybe open up the cruise ship?
At this time, the parking will remain the same. We've had some conversations to explore it in the future, but in the first, nothing's official. So no, parking will remain the same.
Next, come on up.
Aloha, my name is Kepa Barrett. I just moved in across the street. My question is around the process of getting involved with local artists here in Hawaii. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Wahipana project that is actually happening currently and is, I think, part of what is happening at 4th Street Mall. And if any of those artists that have already been identified by the city are involved in that. So if you could speak to that.
We're still in the concept design phase, so I can talk a little bit about what we've been able to do in Seattle. So when we opened 13 years ago, we wanted to be able to have a rotation of artists that were able to be employed and do live demos, to be able to teach individuals about the science as well as the art of glass blowing. Ultimately, we continue to rotate different artists through in Seattle, and we'd hope to be able to do something similar to that here. That being said, no partnerships have actually been executed yet here in Honolulu. So that is our current stance, but we hope to.
Any other questions from the public here in the library? Hearing none, seeing none, we'll go online. Anyone online? Lynn, go ahead, Lynn.
Thank you, Chair. I had a question. I'm sorry, I missed some of the pictures of the plants and trees, but in general, the concept of plants and trees in a building just seems strange to me, because we live in Hawaii, and then to hide it in a building away from the general public is curious to me. And also in an industrial area would really benefit from everybody seeing these plants. So I just wondered, is that really the plan, or if you could explain more on that? Thank you.
Yeah, great question. So the interior of the garden will actually be 50% open as well as 50% closed. So allowing the individuals who are walking through to have some coverage from rain. In terms of the front garden, we want to make sure that that is open and individuals can see that from the street. So it might sound a little strange, but we have been doing a fair amount of work to come up with a design that allows individuals as well as allows the plants to enjoy the beauty as well as to enjoy the sunshine and the weather.
All right.
Can I ask a follow-up question, Chair?
Yes, you may.
Is this plants garden display, is that free for the general public, or do you have to pay a fee?
There will be a fee. We plan to have a kama'aina rate in order to make sure that locals are able to go and see it. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else online? All right, not seeing any. We'll start off with board members Schubert Kwok.
Hi, I'm very curious about this project because I love museums and gardens. So this is it's not a nonprofit, it's a for-profit corporation utilizing unused spaces to create something to attract people to appreciate the old building and also new display of art.
That is correct.
Okay. So I was also curious because I know that the parking lot is a mess. It's very uneven and very dangerous at night. It's very dark, minimal lighting, because we used to have a neighbor board meeting over there, and it was always a trip to get to the parking. So I was wondering whether there's like any collaboration to make it a safer place for parking for people, because that is a really bad scene of the parking there. And of course, you get more parking towards Ala Moana side where there's public parking that can be utilized. So I'm just concerned about not just the building, but getting to and back, and what kind of price you're anticipating for admission rate for Kama'aina and non.
Yeah. In terms of the parking portion of the question, we have explored some things with Department of Transportation, as I believe those stalls are managed by harbors. And we are trying to find a partnership there that makes sense for everybody, but there's still nothing official there. In terms of kama'aina rate, we are still going through the pricing exercise of what makes sense. I can tell you that we want it to be heavily discounted. We think being able to educate individuals on it who live in the area is incredibly important. And that's what we've been able to do in Seattle. And that's what the artist is hoping to be able to do in Honolulu.
All right, thank you. Next, we go to board member Armstrong.
Thank you, Chair. The Chihuly Museum in Seattle is a world-class destination. I didn't want to call it a museum. That's why I was hesitating, because it's more than that. It's a destination. It is a place that people around the world would seek to visit. And to think that Dale, who ironically I had a boss who was a buddy of Dale's, to think that you and he are considering our wonderful city And this neighborhood is astounding. And what I want to ask is, what other than providing us this information, which I think is exciting and progressive and change and could possibly change our community for the good, especially as rail comes in. What do you want from us tonight, if anything?
Yeah. So first of all, Robert, thank you for the kind words to start. That really means a lot. And in terms of tonight, you know what, we just want to make sure that we're, educating the community, and we also hear concerns. It's one thing for us to be here over the last 8 years and learn and listen and participate, but you know what, we still haven't been here as long as a lot of people in this room. So being able to have people voice concerns to us and make sure they're highlighting their concerns is incredibly important. So we just want to come here, present, and then listen to answer your question. Thank you.
All right, we'll go ahead and we'll start with Vice Chair Fitzsimmons first, then followed by Board Member Ras Isakani.
Thanks for the presentation. I think it's awesome that you guys are looking to do something with that space that's been vacant for 10 years. And I really I have a lot of memories when I was a kid going to the Maritime Center. So I hope that, other kids can have memories going to that place. The one question I have is that I looked up the admission for the Maritime Center, and it was really affordable. When it closed, it was like $7.50 for adults and $4.50 for children. I was wondering what your price point would be if you thought about things that far yet, and would that be commensurate to the previous prices at that location? Thanks.
Yeah, thank you for the question. In terms of the pricing, I can say for the Kama'aina rate, it will be more than $7.50. I believe they closed their doors 2009. Yeah, so it with inflation and pricing, it will be more than that. Ultimately, the individuals who are visiting the island and visiting the area will be paying more. What we have in Seattle is closer to $30, I believe. But the local discount in Seattle, I believe, gets individuals closer to around 20. But yeah, originally when we opened, it was more than that, but it changes depending on the seasons as well as depending on what county. But that's just what we do in Seattle, and necessarily doesn't translate as to the pricing discount here.
All right, thank you. Board Member Ras Isakani, please.
Thank you, Chair. Really exciting work. I mean, I'll echo what Board Member Armstrong said. It's just super exciting. It's great to see a building that's just not utilized get what seems like a major facelift. My question is just around the approval process around this. We don't see a lot of special district permit applications coming through. So I'm guessing that's DPP. Is that going in front of the City Council at some point through a resolution? Do you know the timing of that? And then the second question I'd have is just generally, I didn't hear, is the funding purely private or is there any public funding?
Yeah, the funding will be purely private. Ultimately, we don't want to ask taxpayers for money. We think it's better to revitalize and re-energize and not have to do that through taxpayers. In terms of the special districts permit, I'm going to have my colleague Desiree comment on that, who I believe is still online.
Yes, I'm still here. But yes, it will go through City Council once we finalize the permit.
All right, Board Member Shintani.
On a slightly more curious and selfish note, I wanted to ask, are you planning on having, I took glass blowing in school. I was wondering, we don't really have glass workshops in Hawaii except for at UH and at Punahou. I was wondering, are you planning on hosting things like workshops or classes? I think that would be a boon for the community.
Nothing's official, but we are really talking about it. And Chihuly is very aware that UH has the second oldest program.
Yes.
He's actually worked with Rick Mills, who runs the program here a couple times. And in theory, we would like to open the ability to do that. In year one, probably not. What we noticed in Seattle is once it gained popularity, we've really been able to invest more into the community. But we first need to make sure we can open.
it would be nice if there could be collaborations with students too. So
Yeah, so what we have in Seattle, we have about 10 glass artists who are there every day doing live demos, and we hope to be able to do something similar here.
right, it's good.
Any other board questions? All right. Board Member Lai.
Chair, thank you. Mr. Wright, thanks for coming tonight. I feel like I may know your dad, but I'll ask you about that later on. So yeah, this concept with Cholula, while you've been speaking, I've been looking at the website for your Space Needle location, and the colors are fantastic. It looks fabulous. It'd be great to draw people into this area, revitalize it. I'm glad that you answered Member Sakani's that there's no taxpayer or municipal funds, nothing coming like that. So that's great. I wish you the best to make this work out. However, I am curious because I've been here for quite some time. I remember when it was told to us that that HECO plant was essentially like an EPA Superfund site with all sorts of PCBs and things like that buried under it. Is that still the case, or did I hear correctly that there's been an assessment that's rendered that opinion obsolete?
We have had an assessment that has rendered that opinion obsolete, but I will let my colleague Desiree comment on that again.
Yeah, so contaminants were identified at the former power plant site, but the EA acknowledges the potential presence of contaminants associated with the power plant, but the contamination is already known and is already regulated under existing conditions.
When we attempted to do more testing, the concrete was more than 6 feet thick, and there was no contaminants found within that first 6 feet.
All right. Thank you. Any other board members who have not spoken? All right. I want to thank you very much. I want to thank you and your team for sitting down with me and going over this last month. It was an honor. And I hope that this board can make a motion to pass this through, because I think this is a vital part of the reconstruction and revitalization of downtown Chinatown. So do we have a motion?
Mr. Chair, I would be happy to further that motion that we are initially supportive of everything that you've presented here, and wish you well as this long path continues for you.
Right. Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. Thank you, Rossi Sakani. Do we have any further discussions? Do we have any oppositions? Hearing no oppositions, it's passed. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys. Yes, thank you. All right, next we'll be moving on to 3.3, St. Patrick's Day celebration. One, updates and reports of St.
Aloha.
Updates and reports of St. Patrick's Day celebration held on 4th Street Mall between Hotel and King Street. 2, Cinco de Mayo Street Festival to be held on 4th Street Mall between Hotel and King Street. The event is on Tuesday, May 5th, 2026 from 4:00 p.m. to 10:00 p.m. It will feature food, entertainment, and beverage stations. All alcohol purchasers must present identification to receive a wristband. At this time, there are no plans to charge for wristbands. Go ahead, Ed.
Aloha, my name is Ed Karibsky. I represent the 4th Street Mall Business Improvement District. Come July 1, we will be the Downtown Honolulu Business Improvement District. Basically, it's a landowners association. One of the reasons I'm going to talk about St. Patrick's Day, but I'm also going to talk about vision. Like Kevin and Ross had conversations off about like, what do we want to do? And we want to activate the area. We want to bring in events. Right now we do 100 events a year, like with the open markets, non-alcoholic, trying to bring people in. We redesignated 4th Street Mall as a street because now we could do night events. Without that designation, Parks application says we can only do food in designated charcoal pits. And that was not flexible. And we could not have done the Hong Kong Festival. We've done like 3 or 4 night festivals. And as we're going forward, we want to be able to do more stuff. And I will come back to you because it's, again, we talked about it. It's a 90-day thing. We want to be more flexible going forward, but it will need board support. And actually, Ross has helped me a lot with like educate me and dealing with DTS, and they're being more flexible going forward, especially with your advice. And hopefully, with the information I forwarded to Kevin and Ross, that you can see the bigger vision, how we want to grow the area. So regarding St. Patrick's Day, it's the first time Fortune Mall has ever done an event that actually had alcohol on the event. And it was kind of interesting because we didn't know what to expect. The crowd came in at 4 and it peaked at 8:30. And to our shock, it died at 9:30. Like, no, we never got a younger crowd. It's just different than Murphy's, like, when Murphy used to do it. So we didn't have a single incident. Nobody complained. We didn't have a noise complaint. Most people thought it was a good event. And as far as the Fortune Mall BID, we look at it as a marketing event, a promotional event. Like, I have people leaving the event saying, this is a beautiful place. Like, this is a beautiful venue. It's safe. We should have more stuff here, which is different. Unless we do this, people just sit there and say Downtown-Chinatown is homeless and drug addicts. And, we need to do more stuff, especially as rail's coming through and we're going to have more residences coming here. We need to be a more energetic, vital thing. And I view that area right down there. I don't know if anybody's been in New York City, Washington Square Park. Like, how can we start bringing people that will spontaneously just have energy and realize it's a community space? So that is the vision for the area. I will ask them, I'm starting to get a lot of inquiries. I will ask the board support. You don't vote on it right now, please. That a big thing for event permits is we have to do a landowner letter of concurrence to DTS, which is our organization. I don't want private. We've had this problem before with Chinatown and Waikiki, where you have private promoters coming in. So I think what I need is that you will support a landowner's letter of concurrence before any events come in. Just to have some, I don't want to say control, but we can design what we want as a community going forward. And again, so St. Patrick's Day, we have no event, we had no issues. And the information I provided you, we were saying we did 4 special duty. We're going to change it to 6 special duty. We're going to up it because the crowd was over 3,000 people. It was, what we learned was the DJ should be more in the park. We never got a younger crowd. Like, we just, marketed. We never did traditional media. We never got a younger crowd, and we want to change it. But honestly, on the good thing, we never got a military crowd, which is something I'm pretty happy about. We just only had a local crowd. Now we're going to do the same exact thing for Cinco de Mayo. We realized one of the most popular things was when we had entertainment walking through the crowds. Like, the bagpipes were really popular for St. Patrick's Day, so we're going to do mariachi bands walking through. We didn't have enough kids stuff. We never expected that many kids to show up. The biggest line was balloons for the kids, and it's just did not expect it. I'm not upset about it. I'm just like, that's what we're learning. Things you learn. And so, anyway, when I'm just sitting there coming back to you guys, like, if you give me any feedback, I don't care for any positive feedback. I want you to tell me how I can make it better. And that's, if you have any questions, I'll go from there.
All right, thank you very much. Do we have any questions from anybody in the library? Not seeing any. Any questions from anyone online? Not seeing any. Board members. Sulan Shubert-Kwak will start the conversation. Board member?
Hi, Ed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know each other a long, long time.
Yeah, I remember you.
Block parties and everything.
I remember you, the first time you met me, I had my 5-year-old girl on my shoulder.
Yeah, I know your kids. But anyway, so I only have one unfortunate, unhappy question for you.
Sure.
Is that when Rick Snyder and you came to this board and got our blessing, there was no mention of wristband being charged for $15. And then when people went to the event, they were charged a wristband fee. So I filed a complaint because I didn't think that's fair to the public when they thought it was a free event that was told as a free event. So it changed. So when they go into the beer tent, they have to pay for a wristband. So I'm glad to see for your Cinco de Mayo that you're announcing that you're not charging, because it make us look bad that we didn't know and you guys changed the rules. So I don't want that to happen because it's bad for our image. It's
Right.
bad for you. It's bad for the public expecting not to pay and ended up paying.
No.
That's my beef.
No, I understand what you're saying. I just want to sit there and say that the event was free. Anybody could walk in and they could buy food. Anybody could see the entertainment. And anybody could buy non-alcoholic beverages. The fee was, and again, as a promoter, we're trying to figure out like how to not lose money. And basically, so what they're going to do is they're not going to charge a fee for a band to buy alcohol, but they will raise the prices for alcohol. I mean, it's just one. It's one way or the other. It's
At the point was you didn't disclose. That was the point. We're not grudging you for charging some money to recoup your capital. But I think it's deceiving the public. That is the problem by not disclosing and not being transparent what this event is about. If you say there's going to be a wristband charge for drinkers, fine. Let us know how much.
Sure. And again, if you can see, we learned we're not doing it.
That was done even with the other guy he got discredited for that. That's why he no longer can run it.
No. I mean,
with him, so you know.
the way I am treating 4th Street Mall as a nonprofit, as an organization, is that we are a venue. Like, I want activity, and I'm not taking a risk. Like, I'm not, for Reigns, the promoter, I mean, he was ready to call it off Saturday before. Like, it's just a risk. We're not taking a risk. I have to work with different people, and I think it's going to change as we go forward, as it gets more vibrant. We will be able to sit there and dictate more terms. But right now, I have to entice people to go there and like encourage like Farina and, Events International. And we actually have coming up, I have a Pride Festival that wants to come in June. Don't know anything about it yet. I don't know what they want to do. I've gotten approached for Pride Festival, and same thing in August. There's this women's concert that they want to imitate that's been in San Francisco. They approached me. I haven't got a permit. I haven't have information, but I am trying to encourage people to come to me and say, let's do stuff. But it's a give and take until we figure out. I mean, we just got to figure it out, and that's just a give and take.
And it's not a question of we don't understand you. We are supportive. However, we just want you as a business person, a nonprofit or whatever entity you doing this public event, that you disclose if there are going to be charges, how much, and people have a choice. What people come down and they say, oh yeah, I gotta buy a drink now. I gotta pay $15 for thing, and then on top of that, I have
Actually,
to buy beer.
it was only
You see
7.
what I
It wasn't
mean?
15.
It's
But
that it's an integrity portion.
I agree. And then again, that was a promoter. We talked about it and we changed it for the next event.
All right, thank you. We'll go ahead and move on to Board Member Rossi Sakani, please.
Thank you, Chair. Ed, great job on the event. I know you kind of said at the beginning you didn't want the positive feedback because you just wanted to know what to do right, but I just want to give it anyway. I just heard nothing but great feedback from the event. And yes, transparency is really important. I mean, nobody likes to go to a bar and realizes there's a cover being charged.
Yeah.
But, sometimes you still pay the cover and have a good time. And that's what I heard from people. They had a really, really good time at the event. The question I wanted to add, well, 2 questions actually.
Sure.
I want to hear more about this landowner letter of concurrence because I've never heard of that. Happy to help you.
It's something DTS told me, like,
Happy to learn more about it because if it's a barrier for you, then
no, it is. No, we are the landowners. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you're the landowner.
If we have a private promoter, that you give more credence to that letter, so we don't have another private promoter coming in. Like I know that happened in Chinatown and Waikiki, that it comes through a nonprofit that is based in Chinatown. I don't know if there's any legal reason we can say that. It's just more of a moral, like ethical, like, hey, we support this or you don't support this. You just want to sit there and say, as people come through, do have a letter of concurrence from the landowners.
Yeah, and we can talk about that offline because it's a little wonky. It sounds like
Yeah, I
with
know it
permitting.
is. It's-
My question actually, if you don't mind, Chair, I wanted to know, are you by any chance communicating with the Office of Economic Revitalization? Because I've heard that they have a lot of grant money coming through just for this purpose, to revitalize, especially because the mayor is so into downtown Chinatown. One example that they're citing is San Francisco. Mayor Lurie is doing fantastic things with their revitalization plan. And I know that the office is working on that. They have grant money. So I just wanted to throw that out as an idea.
No, we have not heard about it. Josh Green has attended every event. And right now, the only, far as I know, the only grant funds that were available were HTA CPEP grants. And we were not able to get it. They've been focusing on Native Hawaiian, which appropriately, Native Hawaiian, events. I haven't heard anything, but Josh Green said he wanted to sit there and, he really enjoyed it. He just wanted to sit there and say, we need to find a way to support it, because right now, again, we will have more, as a community, we will have more power to dictate the terms. You know what I mean? If we have funds available, we could say, rather than the promoter taking all the risk, we could say, this is what we want. You can come in, it's more of a contractor. But right now, as a nonprofit organization, we can't afford to take a risk. And we have to play, Marina took a risk. She lost money, and that's, but it was a great event.
All right. We next go to a board member, our Vice Chair, Fitzsimmons, please.
Yeah, I wanted to echo what Ross was saying. I know you wanted only criticisms and stuff, but I went down there with my 1-year-old, and it was awesome. And I was surprised to see how many kids were there.
Yeah,
and
me
it's-
too.
And I thought it was really cool that you noticed like how many kids were there, and like for the next events, you're planning to accommodate the kids. But even with the alcohol, like it was a totally safe environment. It was awesome. My 1-year-old had a great time with the balloon person
appreciate it.
making it.
Thank you.
So I want to commend you on that, and commend you on the fortitude and the promoter on the fortitude for persisting with the event, given the crazy weather that we had right before it.
Yeah, we almost canceled it.
Yeah,
like,
so-
the day, 2 days before.
Yeah, so it's
I mean, you gotta remember, like,
Yeah.
Honolulu got canceled because there was a tsunami one time, and like they closed it at 8 o'clock. I mean, they lost $100,000 at least.
no, it's a proof of concept, man. Thank you so much, man. That was great.
Sure.
All right. Board Member Armstrong, please.
Thank you, Chair. I was along the peripheral. I wasn't in the event itself because I was feeling really lousy that day. But I talked to a lot of people both before and after, and it was 100% positive. I want to suggest in the future, particularly since you said about the mariachi bands for the Cinco de Mayo festival, if you might reach out to some of the arts groups, particularly in our neighborhood, but other places as well, and promote the idea of buskers. These are people who are street performers, they're individuals, and they might have a hat in front of them, for donations. But I know that the city of Columbus, Ohio, put a great deal of emphasis with their arts festival on buskers, and literally they had hundreds of artisans from around the world come in to Columbus, Ohio, which is not exactly a destination that a lot of people think of. And they were on like each city block, a performer. And the amount of entertainment that one could see and walk past was just staggering, because I kind of just thought, well, there'd be a magician, maybe a ventriloquist or something like that, somebody who juggles. But the amount of creativity in the world is just astounding. And it would be great if we could maybe put out a call to buskers or to street performers.
Right.
And, and I don't mean those with amplification like they have in Waikiki. We don't want that. But I mean, strolling people who really kind of amaze children and participants along the way. But I just think you're doing a great job in, forward. Just keep going forward.
Well, thank you. We'll take that suggestion to heart.
Thank you. Any other board members? Board Member Lai, please.
Chair, thank you. Comments on one event, questions on the other. Ed, I went down to the event towards the end, and I see how things were going to wrap up. And I do recall that after the 10 o'clock time, there was still some music playing at the stage that's on the Mackay side in the park. And then also curiously after that, it was the one of the food vendors turned on their radio and was playing music after the 10 o'clock time. I talked to one of your staff. I said, hey, I think there's a general agreement that we turn off the sound at 10 o'clock. And I think they took care of it in pretty short order. Just want to check and see if you feel like you had done a thorough job of informing your stage managers and your vendors that, you know, these are the rules that we came to the neighborhood board and agreed about, and just apply them for the next event.
I mean, we tell everybody it's always hard to manage individuals like to do it. And then didn't know there was still sound at the stage down at the park because actually there was very few people down there.
Yeah.
Like it was all the again, we have to figure out how we're doing it. The bulk of the crowd was by Hotel Street, which is not ideal because of we would have preferred it down by King Street. So we got to figure out, that's again, it's a learning process. We're trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so we got to have more vendors down there, and it's again, we're learning. But they all know, everybody knows 10 o'clock. It's like, it's a hard deadline.
Again, just for the next events, just make sure your stage managers know. And I was just thinking about the residents who are in Executive Tower residences right above that parking garage. So I'm moving on to the Cinco de Mayo. I saw in the note that you posted to our online website about the beverage stations and pickles at Forte and at Fort, and seating area of 100 people. Alcohol will be served at the beverage stations, but here's the question. Due to the size of the event, there will not be a dedicated beer garden. Is this because the event you anticipate being too large to have a beer garden or too small to make it worthwhile to have a beer garden? And I asked that, if I may, just because as you mentioned before, you want to have, kids wandering around, and I'm glad that Member Fitzsimmons' family had a fine time, but that mix can sometimes be a concern. That's why we always want to have that in a zone. So what is the limit then for an event size that you'd want to have a beer garden? Because, going to Munich in October, they have things like that set up in certain places. And then lastly, for the event, will you have those trick hydraulic cars that we've seen at prior Cinco de Mayo events that kind of bounce up and down? Because 4th Street's a road now, right? So there's going to be any
Let's
problem.
wind it down, Kevin, please. Thank you.
Thanks, Ed.
All right, trick cars, I can't answer that. Probably not, but I mean, I don't think we have the venue for that. Regarding the beer gardens, that was the issue. We talked to DTS and the police, and we were kind of more worried about crowd control. Like, we never wanted people to be compacted in one area, and we wanted to spread it out. I mean, we had over 20 security guards there with HPD, so we were not really worried about it. And I don't think you saw any public inebriation there at all. So it's only one block.
Yeah.
It's hard to say within one block we're going to have 200 square feet that you can drink. It's just not, I think, viable for a block party.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Next question, and we're gonna go back to Vice Chair.
Yeah, there's just a one comment. Given the way it's laid out, right, and a beer garden, like basically it's like a designated area to drink, so it kind of encourages people to copiously drink within that area, right? And so like that kind of encourages intoxication. The way it was set up was that there was a bar area, but people were walking around, so it was almost like difficult to like get like really like a whole bunch of drinks in you. You know what I mean? It was like you had there's a big line and there's like a lot of people there versus like if you're just sitting in a sequestered area just chugging beers, it might be more
and one of the best things, actually, we did have a bar inside Pickles. And then so Pickles actually partnered with us, and they had seating for like over 100 people. So it just felt more like a food, which is what we wanted, a food event more than a alcohol event. And that's what we were aiming for. I think we met it, but
All right, thank you. Next, go ahead.
This one is a little bit related to the after event, the crowd. We have concerns coming to our side too of Chinatown. Is that on Friday nights and Saturday, your side of the 4th Street Mall and the Chaplain Lane, Scarlet, the people over there we have a lot of trouble. So I don't know what your Honolulu Downtown Improvement District is doing, because we are also dealing with a lot of the riffraff that you sent over to Chinatown. So we're dealing with that as well. So I'm hoping we get some help from your security not to do that, and also to control the happy crowd that comes out of the bars, 1:30, 2 a.m., making noise and throwing things around, breaking windows. So that is your area of Honolulu Downtown Improvement District. And we are trying to bring more people in. So we need to be more safe, and people need to sleep. So I think we have a responsibility for that.
I agree. We've been talking to HPD about it. I'm sure Ernest has known it. I mean, if you looked at our crowd, it was a local crowd. Most of the people that caused the trouble are a military crowd. I don't know how this happened. It wasn't like 5 years ago, pre-pandemic. We never had military people down here. But they are causing the bulk of the problem. They're asking for military police to come down. But it's not the crowd that we are trying to attract. We didn't market to those people. I mean, if we wanted to market to those people, we'd be on country western stations. We did not market on country western stations. We're trying to, I've always thought Chinatown should be for local people.
All right, thank you. So we're gonna close this up because we're running way out of time. We're gonna go with Ross real quick, and then I'm going to close it out.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it, everybody.
Thank you, Chair, for the follow-up. Just wanted to comment on the beer garden. We're all as board members giving our own individual opinions. So,
Sure.
so everyone's going to have different of opinions. So Kevin, our board member Lai, I respect yours. But just for once in a while, one-time events, not every single week, but maybe a block party without a beer garden is okay. And again, I just want to remind, look, revitalization, entertainment. It is absolutely just inspiring what Mayor Lori is doing over there, and they managed to make it work. And as long as it's safe and there's not fights and there's no playing.
Yeah, our next night market, non-alcohol, is February, April 17th.
All right, thank you. So I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Real time. I would like to thank you. The reports, I couldn't make it because I had a family emergency, but from everybody that I've talked to and everybody's been there, they love the events. They agreed. They're surprised and caught off guard that they had to pay $750 for a wristband.
Yeah.
And so the transparency is very important. So whatever you tell us is very transparent. So we can say, well, it was already announced. And so I understand Mr. Lunch coming with the transparency. You talked about beer gardens and all that. Everybody has different vision of it. You got to do what makes it work on 4th Street, so that to keep people safe, especially from the busy traffic on King and those big buses on Hotel. Other than that, everything I've heard was excellent from everybody else. I really enjoyed it. I wish you nothing but success, especially with the night festivals and with the Cinco de Mayo coming up. All right, thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
You have a good
Thank
day.
you for your support.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye. Is he back here? So next we're going to go up to Item 4, public concerns. Anyone with a public concerns here in this library? No, not seeing any. We're going to go on to online. Anyone with public concerns online?
I have a question.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Lynn.
Oh, thank you. We have just heard about a wonderful project at Pier 7 and Hiko, which features a garden and a building that you can visit for a fee. And I just want to connect that concept to Kamali'i Park, where we have a stand of 30-something trees and a green space on the corner of a very busy street intersection. That green space, Kamali'i Park, is open and free for all to see. I'm just asking the city council to preserve the few green spaces we have downtown and not to build over green space when there are other options. And that's my public concern. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Anyone else online? All right, so I think I'm going to let the community concerns. There's one person that wanted to come up. I think he had to run out for an emergency phone call. When he comes back, I'm going to let him do a quick community concerns. Other than that, we're going to go ahead and move on. Board business 5.1, board member 3 absence letter, consideration to vacate. So let's get this one straight. This is an administrative. situation. So because it's administrative, it's going to work like this. If we want to vacate, someone must make a motion to vacate. Then there must be a second. There'll be no discussions. We'll go automatically to a roll call to vacate because this is administration. This is how I was told this should happen by the NCO. All right. Now, the person that this letter is for may explain why he missed 3. The sunshine law does not say that if you miss 3, you're kicked out. If you miss 3 and then you miss another 4th one, then another letter is sent both to the person on the board who has missed a 4th one and to the chair. So they knows, and it's going to be put on the agenda, just like I put it on the agenda. We can vote. We can go ahead and move forward. Or if someone makes a motion, we can go ahead to take a vote to vacate. But I believe Sean wanted to say something on this.
Yeah, so that's me. I missed 3 meetings, but I've been on the board going on 5 years now. As I mentioned earlier, my daughter just turned 1. Her birthday's on March 15th. And you know, my partner is a CPA in tax season, and we don't have much help with babysitting, and baby gets sick, and I'm a partner at a law firm as well. So the convergence of all these things has, you know, required my time to, you know, babysit and all this kind of stuff. It's no disrespect to the board. And I think over the 5 years I've been on it, I've kind of demonstrated my commitment to the board. But if you guys want to make a motion, so be it. It is what it is. All right, thanks.
So there were no discussions. This is what I was told by the NCO, and I'm going to follow what the NCO told me. We're going to, if you want to make a motion to vacate this, to have him vacate, only to vacate. Yeah. If the motion has to be to vacate, okay? Anyone wants to make a motion to vacate and stick with it, motion to vacate. Go ahead, Kevin Lai.
Chair, I'd like to make a point of order regarding your statement that this topic on our agenda is not subject to discussion.
So I'm going to stop there. I hear your point of order. I understand where you're going with it. I'm going to follow what NCO told me yesterday when I spoke to them on this grounds. This is an administrative thing. This is not to do with the public or anything. It's administrative within this board right here. There'll be no discussion. If you wish to make a motion to vacate, you may make it. And then if there's a second, then we can go ahead and vote. That's it. It's about vacating the seat, nothing else.
Chair, I appeal your decision to the board. If anyone seconds, just so we can discuss.
No, there'll be no discussion after that.
Chair.
So, no. You make it. I laid the rules down as I was told the rules by the NCO.
Chair, that doesn't
No,
mean
no,
that's
I'm not going to argue with you on this. You make a motion. Is there a second motion? Is there a second?
This
is as it is.
So hypocritical of you.
No, I'm not.
It's not how you did it.
No, I'm going to tell you right now.
Okay, I make a motion that we vacate this position.
And we're going to go at this point. At this point, right now, anyone that gets disorderly or makes snide comments will be warned. After that, no, you cannot say that. And then after, because you're not going to follow the rule of conduct. So I've already told you what the NCO told me has to happen.
And you have to stop talking over everybody.
I'm saying it to everybody right now.
And you have to stop talking over everybody.
No, and then you not listen to me. I gave you guys what you're supposed to do. Just follow the rules. Thank you.
Okay.
We have an order to vacate. And so now we have a roll call. So
Is there a second?
he second. He asked and he second.
Armstrong, you made a motion to vacate the seat. Is there a second?
There is a second.
Okay.
So we have a first and second.
Okay.
So we're going to do a roll call, okay? And then the roll call, if you
Chair.
want, there's no discussion.
No, I understand this is the motion to vacate
To vacate.
with a second. Okay. And this is roll call to vote whether to vacate or not.
Right. So
Chair, there's discussion
vote
on
unless you're voting for him to vacate. A no keeps him on, okay?
Chair, is there?
There's no more discussion. Go
I
ahead.
appeal that decision, Chair. Under
Then
what
you cannot-
grounds?
No, you cannot. I'm doing what the NCO told me.
Chair,
I'm not going to listen,
That
sir.
doesn't
It's not.
matter.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Roll call.
Roll call. Armstrong,
Nay.
Fitzsimmons, Isokane,
Nay.
Lai,
Abstain.
Mestes,
Nay.
Schubert Kwok, Shintani,
Nay.
Sturgis,
Nay.
Chair.
Nay. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to neighborhood board cleanup with Chinatown's Lions Club. Basically, this is just to let everyone know, this is Saturday, April 18, 2026. Meetup, I got the time as soon as it's Park at 10 o'clock a.m. That is wrong. It is at 9 o'clock a.m. Is there any discussion on this? No, not hearing any. We can now move forward. Next, we're going to go to elected officials. Priority is going to always be given to elected officials / representatives that are physically present at the meeting, including discussions on board / community inquiries, 3 minutes each. We're going to start with the governor's representative, Stephen Downs, as he was the first one in here.
Good evening. Question from the previous meeting regarding the tariffs of the Trump administration and whether DBED is doing studies on the effects on our local economy. As I understand it, DBED is analyzing tariffs on a national level, but not necessarily specifically to the Hawaii's economy. The second question I have not received an answer for yet, but I will continue to pursue it regarding traffic signs on the freeway, and so we will. Hopefully I'll bring you back that answer next month. And I'm open to any other questions for the governor at this time.
All right, so anyone in our library has any questions for the governor's representatives? Please come up to the mic. Thank you.
Hello, Doug Pyle. I'm not I'm just representing myself as a resident of the district, represented by the neighborhood board, and also active in a petition to save Kamali'i Park from constructions and to preserve the trees. Just a follow-up question. I would have asked it last month, but I wasn't able to attend. I had asked a question which was answered, and I appreciate that, of the governor's office, and that was, would the settlement, the report that lays out the goals for the preservation of trees and the Department of Transportation plan regarding the settlement. I'm trying to think of, Navahina Youth settlement. You said it wouldn't apply to the park because it was a county park and that was outside of jurisdiction. And so there's a UH program, let me see if I can pull it up, that has a map. I was trying to find out the percentage of land that would fall under the jurisdiction of the settlement to preserve trees. And if you look at the amount of land on Oahu, for example, on this, it's pacios.hawaii.edu is the source. It didn't have a number of percentage of how much land was state owned versus county owned versus private or federal owned, but it was a very small percentage to the total that was state owned. So here's the question. If the majority of Oahu and at least some of the other islands are not state owned, what amount of trees are actually saved by that settlement plan as a percentage of the forest? So it seems like quite a lot of deforestation and loss of trees, which are carbon sequestering
10 seconds.
Resources, are actually protected by that settlement. Is that clear? Okay, thank you.
Any other in the public in this library who would like to ask questions of the governor's rep? Not seeing any. We'll go online. McDonald, please go ahead. Mr. McDonald, can you hear me?
Thank you, Chair. I wanted to ask the governor's assistant. I recently saw a report on Hawaii News Now that Hawaiian Electric Company is planning on raising its rates by 20 to 30%. This is absolutely unacceptable, and we need the government to step in and get in front of this. Hawaii already pays 2.5 to 3 times the national average per kilowatt hour. It's not 20% more or 30% more. It's 2.5 to 3 times what the rest of the country pays per kilowatt hour. Now, I noticed in the news story that it said that this was due to recent rises in the fuel costs, but fuel costs have not gone up more than they were up between 2021 and 2024. So fuel costs have not gone up to a higher level than they were just a year and a half to 2 years ago. So there should be no reason for this rate hike in our electricity. Our people are suffering and paying much more than they pay across the US mainland for electricity that should not be this high. I understand that we have to pay more for things in Hawaii as we are in an island, but we should not be
10
paying
seconds.
2.5 to 3 times more. I'd like you to come back next month and have a response from the governor as to what he plans to do to keep our rates low.
Time. Thank you, sir. Any other one online? Any other person online who would like to address this? Not seeing any, we're going to go to the board. Any board member? We start off with Shulan Schubert Court.
Stephen, thank you for coming. Wanted to just ask if governor plans to make accommodation for Senator Rhodes' retirement after so many years providing service to our state and being a formerly good neighborhood member, and then state rep, and then senator. We owe him a lot. And I especially want to highlight HB 2413 and SB 709, because HB 2413 is at a dangerous gateway to getting passed, and it is allowing repeat criminals on felony C, nonviolent crimes, which still affect a lot of people in Chinatown, to pass, which I think the governor should be told if it ever got passed. But we definitely think that SB 709 for mental health assistance and empowering the State Department of Health to take these people in is a good one. So definitely HB 2413 is very misguided. It's opposed by the city prosecutor as well as HPD. And I can tell you in my 30 years of volunteer work, I see these people come out and taunt us for committing crimes and being
10
on the
seconds.
streets. So please look into that. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, any other board members? I think board member Lai was up first. Board member Lai?
Chair, thank you. Mr. Downs, thank you for, I saw your note that was posted to our website about the information for DOT not arriving yet. But just to add to that, I was driving back from Capilé, thought I saw on the corner of my eye a sign that used the word Katouche. And I don't know who's programming that. And then I saw today, maybe that's a catchphrase of Coach Price from the past. So again, and then today on the Star Advertiser, there was a comment that someone had written to another article about the use of those signs being distracting and confusing. So if we can just find out what the rules are there. But my question for you today is this. It's about a follow-up from some help that Councilmember Dos Santos Tam sent to DOT Director Sniffen about noise issues and installing some of the noise detection cameras. He wrote a letter to Mr. Sniffen, asked for the placements on these particular places on Pali Highway, and other places in the Downtown neighborhood. Here's the question: where's the data? Is there any way that we can find out if these cameras are doing us any good? If they are, great, let us know. We can propose additional funding. If not, we can relocate them or find a better way. But consistently, as I mentioned earlier, the backfiring, the engines revving, just the general disrespect of the community and the noise nuisance
10
laws that we
seconds.
have. We need that to work. And then also the signage is rolling into Waikiki. Find some way to help bring downtown and Chinatown into the loop. Thank you.
Thank you. And just in case board members have not realized it, we have the timer on the TV, okay? All right. Next, board member Isakani.
Thank you, Chair. Hello, Stephen. Wanted to ask about the governor's request, I think, for a presidential disaster declaration for the recent Kona low, damages. Now, we need this declaration in order to get emergency funds flowing because there's been a lot of damages and the federal is often in a position to help. The troubling news I know is that the president has typically denied Democratic states of this funding, and I just want to know what the governor plans to do about it. I know he's been rather, I guess, I would say pushes back on the Trump administration for some time now, and it's just unfortunate now that we are definitely in need. We've had an emergency. We need these funds. I don't exactly know how to handle this. This is frustrating because this really isn't a handout. We pay federal taxes, and moreover, we make a whole lot of sacrifices for the entire nation in terms of the immense military footprint we have. So I guess I'm just kind of complaining, not to the governor, because I know the governor's on our side. What's he going to do to just try to help us out with the situation? Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Any other board members? No, not seeing any. Want to thank you. You have happy Easter.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right. Next in, I believe, was Katie. She'll be speaking. She's a representative for Kim Koko Iwamoto. Go ahead. You can pass it on. I'll pass it on. All right, thank you.
I'm very short. Hi, guys. I'm Kate. I'm Representative Iwamoto's office manager. She sent me here in person today to make sure that you guys got our yearly constituent survey. We have multiple ways you can fill it out. You can take a picture, email it to us. You can cut it out, put a stamp on it, mail it, or you can use the QR code on it and fill it out. I am available for any questions. We just passed crossover. We're leading up to conference. But yeah.
Anyone in our library has any questions for Representative Iwamoto's representative, Katie? Go ahead.
Patrick Smith again. I just wondered about the status of the free bus fare and whether that, I assume that's not probably a no-go, but is that going to be on her agenda for in the future, maybe with some additional sort of legislative issues in there? Thank you.
Yeah, unfortunately, the free bus fare bill did die. Rep was very sad about that, but I have no doubt that is something she is considering for next legislative session.
All right, thank you. Anyone else in our library have any questions for Representative? No. Anyone online? Not seeing anyone online. Any board members here have any questions? Go ahead. Board member Isakani.
Hey, Kate, thanks for being here. I know it's a really busy time. I just thought I would call out two bills that I've been following closely. I think they went to the Water and Land Committee as well, which I know Representative Iwamoto is a part of. First is HB 2582. This is the OHA Public Land Trust. That one's moving, just get OHA their fair share of the public land trust revenues. So I just want to say, yeah, definitely big supporter of that. Now, one that I was actually a little disappointed has died, I think, is HB 2047. This is the AHA Moku Advisory Committee. This is just trying to get Native Hawaiians a more of an advisory voice. And I was just sad this died. I think it died in Water and Land on the Senate side and Hawaiian Affairs. I don't think Representative Iwamoto sponsored this one, but I'm just, want to say I think it's important to try to give Native Hawaiians a better voice, and this was something that I thought was a really good idea. So maybe I'm looking forward in future sessions to seeing if this can move again. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other board members? All right, here, not seeing any. I want to thank you for always showing up, whether it be online or over here, and send my best to Representative Iwamoto. Hope to be seeing her soon. Okay.
Will do. Thank you, Chair.
All right. Thank you. All right. Next one in the building We have William, Representative Tyler DeSantos. Will?
Hey, everyone. So Tyler is on his way. His bus is a little behind, but he should be here 5-10 minutes. He's got an exciting couple of announcements.
Okay.
Do you mind if we just come back to us?
Yes, can go ahead and come back to you.
Great.
Okay, thank you. So next, Congressman Ed Case representative. Are you here online today? Yes? Go ahead. No. No. Ed Case. I'm starting from the top. Okay. All right, Ed Case is not here. Okay, that's one. We did Governor Spring. Is Mr. Sante here online? Mr. Sante for the mayor's office. He was?
Oh, there you go.
There you go. How you doing, Ian?
So how's it going? Sorry, Chair. I somehow got disconnected. Again, thank you, Chair, for the opportunity. Ian Santee, Mayor Blangiardi's representative, Deputy Director, Honolulu Emergency Services Department. We submitted our information. I believe it got sent to you, so I will be available for questions, but I do have one announcement that was asked to pass on to me from the Department of Housing and Land Management to share with you guys at this meeting. They wanted to make sure that you guys are aware that the City and County of Honolulu has successfully closed on the acquisition of 175 North Pauahi Street as of April 1st, marking key steps in city efforts to expand affordable housing in the urban core. The project will transform a largely vacant and underperforming property into safe, stable, and well-managed housing. In addition to creating new housing opportunities, the acquisition consolidates city ownership of multiple parcels within this block of Chinatown. The assemblage creates a unique opportunity for future master planning and coordinated redevelopment, allowing the city to make a more comprehensive long-term approach to neighborhood revitalization, including integration of housing services and community-serving commercial uses. If you didn't get the notes from the Neighborhood Commission Chair, I'd be happy to go over anything that's pending if you want me to do that, sir. Otherwise, I'm available for questions.
Yeah, so I didn't get anything from the city at this time, yeah?
Okay,
So-
I'll go over it real quickly, sir.
Thank you.
Again, because of the storm, everybody's recovering from the storm and recovery. So they've been very busy. So the edition of the mayor's newsletter can be found at the honolulu.gov mayor/newsletter for this past month. City continues to respond to the Kona low storm for recovery, and the recovery website was launched. It's honolulu.gov /DEM/storm-recovery-information. Very busy for us for the last month. Carry over from the February meeting, they're still looking with the Department of Facility Maintenance. Will answer the question that was asked about the roads in the how to improve roads on the island as they're rated the worst in the country. So Department of Facility Maintenance needs to get back to me on that. In regard to the short-term rental enforcement, the Department of Planning and Permitting requested an extension and should have it for the next month's report. A question was about the signs, similar signage in Waikiki. Example was the fines start at $72. The noise detection pilot program is a project under the State Department of Transportation. So we'll be referring it to them. And that's all I have, actually. So I'm available for any questions that you would like me to take back, Chair.
All right, thank you. Anyone in our library who would like to ask the mayor's representative any questions, please come to the microphone. All right, not seeing any. Anyone online who would like to ask the mayor's representative any questions? Mr. McDonald, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Mr. Santee, for being here. I want to start, my first question to you was going to be about the roads, which I asked about 2 months ago, and I was not able to attend last month's meeting, but I was disappointed to see that there was no response in that meeting. But I see that you addressed that today, so I am very much looking forward to hearing a response from you next month on why we have the worst roads in the country despite paying the highest taxes in the country. It's absolutely unacceptable. But my other question for you today is, I'm seeing reports that Honolulu is now looking into adding the function of safety inspections, and expired safety inspection and expired licensing or registration on their traffic camera functions. And I would just like to reiterate again, what are we doing about the high rate of crime that we have? Real crime, not traffic violations. We have cameras in the downtown Chinatown area that do not work. We've been asking for years what the problem is to get those cameras working. We have real crime associated with homelessness and other just vagrancy. Every time I'm in the downtown area, I see crime, I see drug use, I see other truly offensive behaviors. I think somebody mentioned earlier in this meeting a double stabbing, and we're going to use our resources to improve our traffic cameras. It doesn't seem like a very good use of resources. So I'd like to hear what the mayor has to say about this misallocation of funds when we could be using that to solve real problems in our community. And I'd also like to hear about the roads and why our roads are the worst.
Thank you for the question, sir. We'll get back to you.
All right, thank you very much. Anyone else online who would like to ask the mayor's representative any question? Not seeing anybody else here. All right, we're gonna go to the board. I'm gonna start off with Kevin Lai. Was you had because yeah. So.
Sarah, thank you. Mr. Santi. Question is just a quality control question. I'm just wondering, why was the United States flag at the Thomas Square Park not lowered to half staff for Colleen Hanabusa in the days after her death, as was ordered out of respect, and as were other flags? This might be something that DPR should look into, but just to keep track, it was just a little bit disrespectful, and I would have hoped that we could have had a uniform response across the city and the state. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. We can follow up.
All right, we're gonna go actually to board member Shulan Shubert-Kwa.
Hi, Ian. Thank you for being there. I have a long request on 1027 Monica Street, the cutout for ADA in front of Sinchong in the bakery, the famous Chinese bakery. It's a dangerous cutout for years that we've asked for help to get that repaired. And we got people visiting there and nothing we heard of. It's been going on about 6 years. I really need you to take down the address, 1027 Monica Street, the new Sinchong Yin Bakery. And the cutout is so dangerous that a scooter rides off onto the road and I have no flat surface except like 3 inches. So this is a really big request that need to be done, because we went to DTS, we went to every department. Somebody came and said it's supposed to be by federal government and it's supposed to be a private contractor. I met with a person 2.5 years ago, nothing, no word back. So I need you to really look into this. I hardly ever ask you for something. This is something needs to be done.
Okay, we'll look into
Thank
it.
you.
All right, thank you. Any other board members? We're gonna go with Armstrong, board member Armstrong.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ian, could you just re-clarify the 175 North Pauahi announcement? The city purchased this building for, did you say low-income housing? I need you to just kind of affordable housing. So could you clarify again, please?
No problem, sir. So the information that I received from the Department of Housing and Land Management, the City and County of Honolulu has successfully closed on the acquisition of 175 North Pauahi Street as of April 1st, marking a key step in the city's effort to expand affordable housing in the urban core. The property is currently significantly underutilized, with only 4 of its 42 existing units occupied. So through this acquisition and planned redevelopment, the city will bring back units into productive use, increasing housing availability in a high demand area. So the city did purchase it and they're going to expand it to make it for more affordable housing. Does that answer your question, sir?
Yes, and because and with Laura's help, you helped clarify that you're using the word affordable, and that's different from low income. And so that I think many of us here would applaud if it is accurate in that it's a more middle class category of housing and will help bring more people back into our community. So let's hope this goes to fruition. And thank you so much for your clarification.
No problem, sir.
All right, thank you. The next board member Fitzsimmons.
Hey, Ian, thanks for coming. I just wanted to drill down on what Kevin Armstrong, I think Armstrong made a comment earlier about the safety. This year we had like most recent. Oh, McDonald. I'm sorry. McDonald with that. My fault. So he mentioned the crime in downtown, right? And the mayor campaigned on making Chinatown a top priority. Inclusive of that is keeping Chinatown safe. Now, in the end of February, there's a double stabbing. There's 4 machete crimes in January reported on KITV. There was an acid attack also this year. And I know that the state law that allows for the open carry of machetes, isn't really under the purview of the mayor, but I didn't hear any commentary of him speaking up for our community with respect to how that would affect us and how it would affect our safety. And so I wanted to know, like, what substantively has the mayor done to address the safety in our community? Like, not just like conceptually allocating like $1.9 million to a business improvement district, but like what like substantively has he done to reduce the crime? Because I think it's pretty clear that the statistics are inaccurate. HPD, they're doing their best they can, but they're understaffed. And so their ability to collect accurate statistics is hampered. And so for all these things, I'm just kind of curious about what substantively he's done to make our community safer. Thank you.
Understand the question. We'll get back to you. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Go ahead, board member Sikani.
Thank you, Chair. Hey, Ian. I wanted to talk about the city budget. Last couple of weeks, the city's been going through some really challenging budget hearings. I think Councilmember Dos Santos Tam can attest to how challenging they've been. We have real problems to solve, and we are in a severe crunch in terms of revenues that we can bring in. So that's why I want to talk about my favorite topic, the empty homes tax. Not only is it a positive housing policy, which the mayor supported during his campaign, but what stands out to me is it can produce a lot of revenue. Ernst & Young analysis projected more than $290 million over 10 years. Now, I recognize that there will be administrative challenges if we can get this thing over the line, but my perspective is we just can't allow limitations in our civil service departments to become a ceiling on good policy. If a policy is worth doing, government, we just want them to try to find a way. So my question is, will Mayor Blangiardi and Managing Director Formby, will they push their administration to support this policy? And if not, what other revenue generating ideas do we have that's going to produce $290 million over 10 years? Thank you.
Thank you. We'll look into. I'll get you an answer.
All right, thank you. Any other board members? Yeah, everybody that want to speak, go ahead.
Ian. Hello, Ian. I just wanted to add my comment that I support not cutting the budget on the Mayor's Office of Economic Development. Chinatown has benefited from visits from that department. And I think that at this time, even though they can't quantify their value, cutting 20 staff out of that department is detrimental to revitalizing Chinatown. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Any other board members have other question? Not seeing any. Ian, thank you very much for stopping by as usual. You have a great Easter weekend. Thank you.
You too, Chair and board. Thank you.
All right. Next, we're going to go on because I see that Councilmember Tyler DeSantos has arrived. We're going to go with Representative Tyler DeSantos. William, Here's Representative William. Hi, we're here waiting for you.
We were waiting for you. All right. After the 175 North Pauahi Street announcement, the only one I have left is that Foster Botanical Gardens, DFM, is considering changing the fee structure. Likely will not impact local residents, Gamma Ina, but I wanted you guys to be aware of that. And that's all I have.
All right. Do we have any questions? Well, I see Representative, Council Member. Go ahead.
Any questions? I would also add, as some of you saw in social media, last Wednesday, there was a raid on an illegal game room on North King Street. I think it was 185 North King Street. We continue to make progress against legal game rooms. If you remember last summer, we had Bills 11, 12, and 13. Bill 11 was the bill that would have required, or that does require, all of the entertainment devices to be registered. So things at Fun Factory, Dave & Buster's, those sorts of things need to be registered. And HPD and the prosecuting attorney's office are starting to implement that. They hope to have it fully implemented and enforceable in the next few months. And that means that at these legal game rooms, if there's something that looks like an entertainment device but doesn't have the registration tag, they can be immediately seized. It doesn't need somebody to play it, somebody to testify that it's gambling, see a transaction, do this and that. In addition, DPP did stop in there this morning, and they are planning to send some notices of violation to the owner, because those are fully the owner's responsibility. And the whole goal is to make it not profitable for the owners to be hosting these game rooms on their premises. Anyway, totally open to questions if anyone has any.
Okay, so first we go to our audience. Anyone in the audience wishes to ask our council member any questions? Not seeing any. We're going to go online. Anyone online? Not seeing any. We're going to go this one. We start off with Board Member Shulan Schubert-Kwok.
Donald has a question.
Okay.
Hold on. Give me a second. Let's go with Kevin McDonald, then we'll come back to Shulan.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Councilman, for being here. I will express my disappointment, as I did that I asked 2 months ago and the City Council has a great responsibility to our roads. We have the worst roads in the country. When I asked the question 2 months ago, I had Board Member Lai put up 3 independent national articles ranking Honolulu's roads in the bottom 3 of the country. Now in 2025, we had the most deaths on our roads that we've had in the state history. And I contend to you that we don't need more speed bumps. We don't need more traffic cameras. We need roads that work. I ride a 2-wheeled vehicle, and it's practically like being on a rodeo where you want to try to stay on for 9 minutes or 7 seconds, or however long it is. We have speed bumps on our roads that don't need them because the speed bump is the only part of the road that actually isn't covered in potholes. So with the worst roads in the country, and with it being the City Council's job, prerogative to keep our roads, it's like your #1 responsibility, roads, schools, and police. What are we doing to improve our roads, which we pay the highest taxes for and are consistently ranked in the bottom in the country?
So I think there's 2 parts to that question. The first is, why are roads unsafe? And what's the measure of it being unsafe? It's people dying. As you point out, we've had the most road deaths. Why are people dying? They're not falling into potholes. They're being hit by cars at very high speed. So to address that, we've done a number of things. We passed a bill last year to lower the speed limits around schools, and DTS is starting to implement that. Speed bumps and speed tables are part of that. Maybe not here in downtown. We do have a few raised crosswalks, but in areas like Nu'uanu Avenue, which for years has been asking for speed bumps, they got it there. Up in Papakule, they got it there. Alapai, Prospect, and Iolani Street got a 5-way stop because that intersection, somebody died. So these things actually do, I think, help with the death part. Statistics show that if you get hit by a car at 25 miles an hour, you've got about a 50-50 chance. If you get hit by a car going 15 miles an hour, you have a 98% chance of surviving. You're going to get hurt, but you're going to survive. With regard to our roads, this is a big challenge, and Board Member Yusukane mentioned this. It comes back to money. It comes back to the city's ability to pave our roads. For the downtown area, there are roads that did get redone. I mean, Bishop Street a few months ago got repaved. Hotel Street eventually in the next year and a half or so, we expect that to be fully repaved. So we're slowly making progress there. If there are specific areas that need the surface treatment because it's bad, let us know. We can put that into the queue. It doesn't happen overnight. For things like potholes, though, they have been pretty good at keeping up with those. We just need to know where they are. We're not, everywhere. And certainly after the rainstorm, they have been out dealing with the worst ones.
Chair, can I have a quick follow-up?
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
30-second follow-up.
Thank you. We can say that about the potholes, but we have streets that have been repaved, that we have manhole covers that are man-made potholes, where they're 3 to 4 inches below the surface or above the surface. On Kalakaua, on Ward, on Dillingham, there are potholes or pitcher's mounds that stick out on our streets that we just signed off on. We have metal plates in front of the convention center. All over, there's probably at least 100 metal plates on our streets that have been there unmoved for a year or more. What are we doing to fix this? It's unacceptable.
Time.
I'm happy to look into specific instances of this. I don't have an answer for why the convention center one is that way. But if there are specific ones, send it in and we're happy to research it. The city has a good database of these things.
There are hundreds.
Right, no. Your time is over, sir. Your time is over. Thank you. All right. Now that we have no one else online, we're going back to Shulan Suva-Kwak, so I called her first. Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler. Last night was tremendous for you to bring the community together, to have a people-to-people meeting with heart. And it was like 2 years to no face-to-face. And I love Zoom, but I think Zoom also serves its purpose for the most part. But I think the next meeting, maybe we could have both for those that are unable to travel there, and then for HUD to be able to be more transparent, and that the workshops that made for public workshops needs to be relabeled. They're not really workshops or seriously taking our input that we work hard on, because they have a separate agenda. It was just for legislative passage, which is deceiving. So I felt like I've been fooled for a couple of years, giving my input, asking for a ramp for the Downtown-Chinatown train station because of the limitation of the station. Having a stairs is not going to help us as much as having a ramp that everybody can use. Bicyclists, everybody, children with strollers, old people, young people. Yet it was not done. And so I felt very fooled by it, that they said, oh, it's done. Federal money is approved, no changes. So we feel like we've been slapped all over the head for this. So until, they change the label, asking for colors or things, then we should not attend those meetings. That's the seventh item. I'm mad.
Shulan, time. Thank you. Go ahead, Board Member Armstrong.
I do
watch the clock up there.
I do second Chulan's comments about the heart, quote unquote, workshops. I remember I asked that the station just do one thing in addition to the elevators and escalators and ramps and all that sort of stuff, but do one thing, and that look like it's part of our neighborhood, Chinatown. And that, of course, wasn't done. And so very disappointing that it just looks cookie cutter. But I do want to thank you and your office for getting back in a very quick way on some of the post-storm lighting issues that made our neighborhood incredibly dark. In particular, it was the corner of Vineyard and Poly. All of the lights were off until last night. And I didn't get a chance to check Laliha and King, but I assume that that's in the works if it's not already on. Both of those areas were incredibly dangerous, both for motorists and pedestrians, because of all the lights off. So I want to thank you for help facilitating that. Maybe possibly we could get some lighting now on Hotel Street and Union Mall in particular, which is in just a disaster waiting to happen. It's so dark. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I hear you on that too. I would love to have more lighting, especially in Union Mall.
All right. Any other board members here? Okay, we're going to go with board member. We're going to with Vice Chair Fitzsimmons, please.
Hey, Tyler. Thanks for coming. I just wanted to say, just thank you for being an effective legislator for our community and actually effectuating change that makes our community safer, as evidenced by these game rooms that are being swept up. I want to say thank you. Conversely to other people that promise things for our community that don't really materialize. So just thank you very much for being attentive.
Thank you.
Any other board members? Board member Sakani.
Hello, Council Member Dos Santos Tam. By the way, you don't need to wear a name tag for us. We
Oh gosh, yeah.
I know who you are, but thank you for being so polite with that. So I know you introduced Bill 48 to try to expand the 4th Street Mall, and then I was sorry to see, I didn't watch the video, but sorry to see it got deferred, but hopefully that does come back at some point. But I did want to point out, I did submit testimony in support of that. But one thing I wanted to point out in my testimony as well is that, expanding the space is only half the battle. Because if we're really going to be able to activate these spaces with events, we're just going to need a permitting process that works. And what we're hearing is just my perception. I'm not hearing any complaints from any event organizers, but just the rumors we're hearing is that with a lot of city permitting processes, sometimes there can just be an ingrained bias to kind of say no to things. And unless there's a little bit of push or pressure that for downtown, it's such an important thing for revitalization. We just heard that they're putting out a new requirement for a landowner letter of concurrence, which we don't even know what that is. It's not written in ordinances. It's not written in rules. It's not written on their website. So I guess I'm just venting some more and saying,
no, there's a reason for that. The reason for that is with the downtown bid coming in, I think they're going to have a lot more of a hands-on approach with the events, and just like the 4th Street bid does the farmers market, which is kind of small and it's just twice a week. I think the idea is for the downtown bid to help coordinate some of the bigger events like the Hong Kong Festival that they had, St. Patrick's Day, some of the other ones that I know have been in the works. With regard to Bill 48, we do anticipate that it'll come back next month. We're committed to getting it done. The reason why it got deferred today is the church had a few minor technical changes that they wanted, and we didn't have time to deal with it for this hearing. Honestly, I think the easiest thing is to just give DTS the ability to deal with these sort of one-off situations, like if there's a funeral at the church, like how does the hearse move across the mall? Like that can be dealt with in admin rules versus in ordinance. And part of that too is if there's other changes to the mall, other businesses that pop up, who knows, they might need more deliveries. We don't want to have to go back in ordinance and like accommodate that business and accommodate some other thing. And so giving the department a little bit more flexibility with adopting rules for these one-off situations, I think would solve that problem, but we're going to work on it for next month.
All right. Any other board members? Okay, board member Live.
Chair, thank you. Council member, if the council was to discuss an administrative rule about how a hearse would move across 4th Street, would that be done without debate or discussion?
Yeah, so the admin process does require a public hearing. It's posted in tiny letters in the classified section, as well as on their website and all of that. I would be happy to try my very best to let you all know when these things come up. But there is a public input process for sure, and we'll make sure you guys are engaged.
Tonight, I wanted to let you know that I took a look at your handout for the month, and I think you've made mention of Bill 39 about BMX4 changes.
Yes.
But on your website, at least electronic version, the link to that resolution goes to resolution number 9 about the Pauahi project
Oh, gosh.
expenditure. So maybe check on that,
Okay.
double check. But that set me on the rabbit hole going down about Bill 39. So is it true that Oahu, the city council wants to implement full development of primary urban center through higher density redevelopment? Full development, we'll keep an ear on that. And to James, our screen has just gone out on the main side. Because I'm going to focus here on Kamali'i Mini Park, or the land formerly known as Kamali'i Mini Park, this lovely triangle. If we look at a map, we're going to zoom in on the map. We're going to overlay some of our land zoning. The red is BMX4, so big time BMX4. The other green parts, I think, are
Time limit is up.
Yeah.
Time. Thank you.
Well,
I get where your question's going.
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay.
No,
If
no,
anyone else
no,
would
you-
have
no,
to
no,
yield
you-
their time to me,
No,
I'd be
no,
happy to
I'm
do
not.
so.
Hold on. You can wait till everybody goes, and you want to do a follow-up. I'll let you do a follow-up, like I'm going to let Shulan. But I told you guys, your time is there. I extend you guys' time from 1 minute to 1 minute and 30 seconds of speaking, because there's only 1 minute first. But I give you the 1 minute 30 seconds, so be
Yeah.
grateful. All right, Shulan's going to do a follow-up. Go ahead.
Wait for that time? Okay. Okay. Same old question, but more urgency because downtown has 3 security teams. So they're chasing all their undesirable into Chinatown. And so we have to deal with that a lot and more hours put in for volunteer work to keep our streets clear. So I'm requesting, please put in a bill to extend Sit-Lie 24/7 so that the work can be done, and that will kind of encourage these people to take shelters, because we have many more shelters built in the last 4 years. And we also have a psychiatric treatment center with all kind of facilities. So I think even the ACLU rule, they defeated from the Supreme Court. So we have a lot more new information and grounds to justify the 24/7 Sit-Lie. That would save everybody a lot and promise a true safe passage instead of a bandage situation that we have now.
I definitely hear you on that. And I know how important that is. There's a number of steps that we have to take before we get there, just to set the stage legally. I do want to go back to Kevin's question, though, because it is an important question. So resolution 26
Did you finish her question?
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that
You
was
done
it.
with her?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to give him a follow-up, so he can go ahead and speak another minute and 30 seconds, okay?
Chair, I appreciate it greatly. Councilmember, I appreciate what you're going to say, but my questions were about the lot size of 50 feet minimum lot width. How do you measure that on a triangle? And then also the setbacks, 5 feet from the front, 0 feet from the side. So shear walls down to the concrete that is the sidewalk itself. And again, what's the side and the rear of a triangle lot?
Yeah.
So those are some major questions. Thank you.
Okay, cool. So first of all, the reason why I introduced resolution 26-39, which has to go to the planning commission and then come back to us, is, as you know, we have TOD zoning. I think for those board members who've been on the board 5 or 6 years pre-COVID, you know that there are a bunch of these sort of workshops, and we came up with a TOD plan. The implementation of the plan, though, DPP told us isn't going to happen until 2030. That's crazy. The rail's going to be open 2031. And so between now and then, in order to facilitate things like office to residential conversions, things like dealing with, if you're doing one of these conversions, you have to meet sort of other standards. We wanted to take the existing BMX4 rules, which deal with things like the setback. It's already 0. The minimum lot size is already 50. The key change that it makes there is increasing the allowable FAR by right in the BMX zone. That's really the core change. And the reason why is, to your point about the primary urban center, it's not to allow every single square inch to be developed. It's that right now, the 4.0 by right. First Hawaiian Tower is 10.0. Davies Pacific is 8.25. 1132 Bishop Street is 7.66. All of these buildings, if space aliens came in and like abducted the building, we would not be able to rebuild it under the current zoning, which is wild. We're downtown. This is, of course, where these tall buildings are going to be. And so that resolution gets us to 7.0 by right. And then if you provide additional bonus space, you can get higher, up to 10 or 12, which is kind of what the TOD plan envisions which we're not going to get till 2030. For Kamalii Park, because it's being developed under 201H, it's kind of a separate thing. And so it's the underlying zoning is not implicated in that. It's sort of the negotiation between the city's landowner, the developer, and the state under the 201H process.
Done deal.
It's not a done deal, but that's 201H allows the underlying zoning to be, waived to whatever degree, and then we end up deciding, yes or no on it. That's the state process. That's what they set up.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Good question, and I appreciate the diligence on all that.
Anyone else with a question? All right. There's no further question. I want to thank you for last night's meeting. Informative, but a lot of people did feel that Hart is not listening to them. We've been to these workshops before. There are things that we need, and I think Hart is missing the point, especially when they're coming to areas like Downtown-Chinatown or certain areas of Kali. We have a lot of senior citizens that live here, and one elevator is not going to make it. I mean, and escalators is a need. That's a 3-story hike that I have to take upstairs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate what you're doing, and I hope Hart took to heart what was said last night.
We're going to keep chipping away at them.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. All right. Next, we're going to move on to State Senator Rose. He's got a new representative helping him out tonight. Okay? Go ahead.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Helena Boucher. I'm representing Senator Carl Rhodes. He just has a few things that he wants to share for this meeting. So his grant aid and capital improvement project priorities for the session was for the GIA request to be $400,000 for Weed and Seed Hawaii, and then the GIA request of $212,460 for the Kalihi Palama Health Center, and then the CIP request of the $450,000 for the trust for the land, the public land and A'ala Park improvement project. In connection to the above request, the Weed and Seed, he just wants to explain that he does support Weed and Seed efforts, and then its expansion into the operations of Iwile, and then the current Weed and Seed cover areas in Chinatown and downtown Eva and Waipahu. Additionally, he also pointed out that the households receiving SNAP benefits for food lost in the power outage can request replacement benefits, but they would have to make a request within 10 days of the food that was purchased with the SNAP benefits that were destroyed. And then families can also request it over the phone, by email, or in person by their local processing center. And then if you guys want more information, you can contact the processing center or Department of Health Services desk. And then one last thing was there was at least one case of measles that was reported in Oahu. So he just wants to kind of tell people if they want to make sure that they're up to date with their MMR vaccine. And then if you guys have any questions, feel free to call the office or email the senator at senroads@capital.hawaii.gov. If you guys have any other questions, I'll be free to answer them.
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions from the gallery? Hearing none, going to those online. I see Mr. McDonald. Do you have a question?
Yes,
Hello?
thank you, Vice Chair. I wanted to ask Mr. Rhodes, I was actually recently going through Civil Beat, and they named some of Hawaii's most wanted criminals. And the top one had 20 prior convictions, and the second one had 13 prior convictions. Senator Rhodes, while I understand he's retiring, is the chairman of the Judicial Committee. What I'd like to ask the senator what he's doing in his last term to appoint judges or to sponsor legislation to remove these recidivative criminals from our streets. It is absolutely unacceptable that we would have criminals with 20 convictions or 13 or even more than 5 convictions still on our streets. How does Senator Rhodes plan to address this in his final term?
I mean, he can't really control, when people are let out. But as for the judges, he's making sure that everything is kind of in order and that they will represent our community well and go with the best foot forward. But if you want, I can let him know that you are concerned about this.
If
Thank you,
I
Ms.
may,
Belcher.
Vice Chair, I just would like to say, yes, I
Sorry,
would like to know, I would like
I'm
to see
sorry,
Senator
did you
Rhodes
have
come back to me with a plan. Thank you.
I'm sorry, what? I didn't hear you.
Oh,
Kelly?
I asked Senator Rhodes's representative if she could come back to me with his plan. Since he is the chair of the Judicial Committee, I'd like him to come back with a plan for how he plans to address this.
Understood. Moving
Thank you
on.
very much.
Is there anyone from the online community that has any questions for the representative of Carl Rhodes? Seeing none, moving to the board. Chulon Schubert Kwok.
Thank you. It's your first time, so well done. And I just want to tell Senator Rhodes we appreciate Senate Bill 709, which was very needed, and it allows the MH3 to work to allow these folks who are mentally ill to be helped and to allow the Department of Health to accept them. So I hope that bill passed quickly. The bill that I'm very concerned with is HB 2413, not, releasing people without bail on felony C classification, even up to the tune of robbery, burglary, up to $19,900. That's way too much, not addressing the victim's portion of feeling helpless and totally ignored for them not spending some time in jail or posting bail to be accountable for their crimes. So that's the one that I'm very, very concerned about. Thank you.
Mhm. Yeah, and then sorry, what was the bill number one more time, just so I can make sure
House
everything's
Bill
correct?
2413.
Cash bail.
413. Okay.
Yeah, the bail one. Yeah, letting a
Mhm.
criminals
All right.
go. That one.
Okay. Mr. Lai, was your hand up?
Yes, Chair, thank you.
Yeah.
Ms. Beltran, I just wanted to encourage, or if you could pass on to Senator Rhodes to see that House Bill 1679 passes out from the Judiciary Committee meeting on 7 April 2026. This bill addresses the change in the last session that would limit the amount of days that a condominium association has to retrieve ballots once issued for very large and expensive projects and potential assessments. I had a chance to testify on that when it was before a previous committee, but I think this may be the last hurdle before going out to the main chamber. And I encourage him as the chair of the committee to ensure that it gets passed out. That's again, House Bill 1679 regarding condominiums. Thank you.
Okay.
Are there any other questions from members of the board? Thank you very much for your time. Moving on to the monthly report section of our meeting. Do we have Iris online? Oh, Iris is here. Hey, Iris, how you doing?
And
Iris from the Board of Water Supply.
I'm from the Board of Water Supply. Hi, everyone. I'm just here to read one general announcement. We got our Detect Delete week. I'm passing it out now, and I gave to the audience a flyer. So we've partnered with the City Mill to observe the Detect a Leak Week, and it's from April 12th through April 18th. So we encourage residents to find and fix leaks, and that because these leaks waste water and increase your utility bill. So one of the most common household leaks is a running toilet caused by a worn flapper or faulty flapper. So to help raise the awareness, we got two different outreach events. There's the kickoff one on April 11th from noon to 2. This is at Mililani Town Center. And the other one is on April 18th from 11 to 1 at Kahala Mall. So hopefully you guys are in the middle. We can go either way. So at that, at these outreach events, you'll have free toilet detection dye tablets. And that's also, those tablets will also be available at our Board of Water Supply lobby at 630 South Beretania Street, and the City Mill locations and satellite city halls. So for more information, you can go to boardofwatersupply.com/DALW. So, okay, so that's my announcement. And if you don't mind, I have the follow-ups from the other month. Okay, so let's see. And of course, the one is from Mr. Lai. You were asking about that equipment that was left, the lights were left on around Christmas time, and it was facing the ground. So he was wondering, why was that? And so, oops, let me see the page here. So it says, so during the holiday seasons, we do allow, the Board of Water Supply does allow the Department of Facility Maintenance to operate our generators with the lights for the city holiday display. So we did receive the complaint on that Sunday, December 28th at 12:30 p.m., which we did forward to DFM for follow-up. So hopefully that's why you saw it turn off. But yeah, so we did let DFM borrow it. And the other one is for member Isokane. Here we go. So his questions last month was about the Board of Water Supply pursuing the litigation for Red Hill and in reimbursement. So Board of Water, we originally filed and he wanted to know about the case numbers and stuff. So we originally filed the case as, let's see, Board of Water Supply, City and County of Honolulu versus United States case number 1:25-CV-00271-LEK-KJM in the U.S. District Court of the District of Hawaii. But then another number, the case was later transferred and is now pending in the U.S. District Court for the District of South Carolina, Charleston Division. So as in, I don't know how this means, but as in RE:aqueous film-forming foams products liability litigation. I guess it's RE:BWS versus United States. Oh, here we go. Case number 2:CV-00469-RMG. Okay, so got it. So you can look it up. Or for anyone, you guys can look this up. I don't know how, but you can look it up. So that's just the follow-up questions and answers. And there's
All right.
any more?
No, let's find out.
Okay.
Anyone in our library wishes to speak to our Board of Water Supply representative? No one? Anyone online? No one? Board members, go ahead. Board member, Vice Chair Fitzsimmons.
Yeah, Iris, thanks for coming. I just wanted to ask just general questions about the Kona low that happened last month. It overwhelmed, it's catastrophic flooding, like overwhelmed infrastructure throughout the state, drainage systems were overflowed. There's boil water notices issued, right? So I was just wondering what specific, if any, infrastructure was affected in our community with respect to the Kona lows, and what repairs or anything we can expect from those issues. Thanks.
Okay. So anything in the community, neighborhood board 13 or close
Yeah,
by, but for the water supply.
Yes, if there's anything specifically that affected our community with respect to the infrastructure that was damaged by the Conolos.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to ask that question and come back to you guys. I don't know, that's why. Thanks.
Any other board members, sir? Go ahead, board member Lai.
Chair, thank you. Ms. Oda, thanks for following up on that 3-month search for that generator. But just want to confirm it was DFM that kind of borrowed it out?
I believe, let me double check. Yes,
Okay.
DFM.
Because now, I mean, now the question is to find out why it was running in the daytime to shine lights in the middle of the day. So I'll pass this along to Mr. Santee, I suppose. We can
Okay.
quality control, guys. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Any other board members? No, not hearing, huh?
Oh, no, thank
Okay.
you. And sorry, I did not get my report to you before the meeting, so I will give that to you by next week.
You're
Tuesday.
fine.
Thank you.
You're fine.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm sure I'll see you at Kolohi and at all the other places.
Oh, Hey, I go to the other neighborhood board meetings
Right,
set too, that's why.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Anyway, thank you very much. You have a happy Easter.
Yes, happy Easter, everyone.
All right,
Thanks.
thank you. All right, next we're going to move on to 7.2. Hart. Harry, you there?
Yes.
Thank
Yes,
you.
I am. Good evening, everyone. Harry Cho with Heart. First, I just wanted to address some of the comments that were mentioned earlier. First, about the escalators. I understand what everyone's saying, and you know, this is a recurring comment that we've been hearing over and over, and we hear you. But based on Heart's current finances and discussions with DTS about the ongoing maintenance problems of upkeeping escalators, at this point, installing escalators is not an option at any of the Segment 3 stations. So just wanted to mention that. And also to address the comment about our workshops. Like I mentioned previously, the purpose of the workshops isn't necessarily to get, you know, big decisions determined by the community, rather just the aesthetics and finishing touches of the stations. So that's the main purpose of our design workshops. And actually, for the most part, most of the community members that do attend our workshops are quite pleased with the designs that are presented to them. So just wanted to touch on those two comments from earlier. But the one update I have is regarding the recent changes on Keikaulike Street. Earlier this week, we installed traffic barriers on a portion of Keikaulike Street between King and Nimitz, and that is to begin construction of the Chinatown station. New striping has been installed there, as well as dedicated parking stalls for the loading zone for delivery. So hopefully that makes things a little more organized around there. I know it's a very busy street. But besides that, I'm available for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any questions from anyone in the library who would like to address Hart? Not seeing any. We'll go online. Anyone online? Not seeing any. Go ahead. You have 1 minute, 30 seconds starting now. Go ahead, Mr. McDonald.
Thank you, Chair. I would first like to start out by saying that's quite a take that you've given on the workshops. It seems to me like you just told the community that they're wasting their time going there, and Hart's going to pretty much do whatever they want. It doesn't matter really what the community says. At least that's what I took away from what you said. But my question to you is, I just discovered that Hart is going to be moving into the Evil A district, and you're not done with any of the previous districts. You're barely making it to the airport. Is it a good idea for such a bloated and corrupt project to be moving on to a new area before they complete any of their previous areas that they've worked on? Why are we moving forward when we haven't even finished what we started?
Yeah, so we're already working in the Evil A area, where our contractor is very much on their way, already installing shafts in the Evil A area along Ka'ahi Street. They're planning to install the first column in that area as well, I think in the next week or so. So we're already well underway working in the Evil A area, as well as downtown and Chinatown. And the reason for that is because the utility work on Dillingham is not complete yet. So the contractor is working in areas that they have access to, and building the system as quickly as they can in areas that are available to them.
All right, thank you very much. We'll go ahead and move to anyone else online, please. All right, not seeing anyone else? Any board members? Go ahead, Shalom.
Harry, yeah, I just am not happy to hear what you just said about that it's only for cosmetics that the workshops are for. Because a couple of years ago, when we did the workshop, they asked for ideas and give us cards to write on what we needed from the community, and then never got back to us that they actually implemented them. We assume they're going to take all the good comments and work on them. And you know, as I know, seniors cannot climb 3 flights of stairs. And we know, you know, and the people know that electricity cuts off, power outage. How are we going to get people down or going up with one staircase and one elevator? It doesn't take a genius to figure that out by not having stairs and by having ramps, which we requested, but was given the deaf ear and ignoring it because they didn't think the community voices are good enough or that they can trust our judgment. This is what we anchors the community by giving us a horse and pony show. And it was just like, make them come to the meeting, put in their thing, but we don't have to listen to them. This is what is coming across. That's what is making a lot of people mad.
10 seconds.
I'm done.
Okay, thank you. Any other board member? All right, not hearing any, not seeing none. Thank you, Harry. You have a good night.
Sorry, I did have one more question, and I'm not sure if the board can help with this. Maybe we can ask HPD to assist. I'm not sure if the council member might have any insight, but sorry, if I could try to share my screen. So I'm not sure if you can see that image. This is right at the corner of Nimitz and Keikaulike Street, right outside of the Chinatown station site. This has been an ongoing maintenance nightmare for Hart. I'm not sure exactly where this trash is coming in from. It seems like it can be some of the vendors in the area. It's all trash, you know, boxes, trash, that type of stuff, equipment. So I just wondering if the board might have any guidance on how we can kind of solve this issue.
So Harry, so right there in that building area, there's encampment. There's actually an encampment of homeless people living out there. So a lot of this garbage is their trash, yeah, and that's something that several people from Marin Tower have seen from their balconies and have asked me to track, yeah. So we've been tracking it, and so every time that area gets cleaned up, it gets back up the same way, yeah.
Yeah, the week after we clean it, it gets like this again.
Yeah. So this does get cleaned up, but it happens again and again and again, and that's where we need tougher regulations by HPD. We need to be compassionate with our homeless, but at the same time, we need to make sure that accountability is happening. So a lot of this trust is coming from that area because there's a encampment of homelessness in that area.
Mr. Chair, no. May I say one thing about what you're saying?
Sure.
If you notice, the unit is a freezer or a cooler for drinks and stuff. So some merchant started the process.
So let me explain this one to you, just so you understand this. So we get this report all the time. Dan and I get this reports from the same residents. So that freezer was inside of a special area where the people are living. They remove the units and push it out. And we see them doing this all the time. And we got pictures of them doing it all the time. And they put the trash into all of those things. That's what we see. We get this from a couple of the residents at Marin Tower because they look down directly at the area where the homeless people are encamped and taking out things from the area. They're literally taking out huge structures and things out of the areas and putting and placing it outside. We see it all the time. I actually went to a unit at Marin Tower where they asked me to sit and watch for them with them. So it's sad, but it is happening. So actually, Harry, I'll go ahead and bring this up with Sergeant Levon because Major Roberts will be gone for the next 3 weeks. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I definitely would like to get HPD's insight as well on how this can be
Okay.
addressed. But yeah, thank
All
you.
right. Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome. All right. Next, we're going to go to 7.3 Chinatown Improvement District. Lee Stack, are you here? Nope. Next, we're going to go to 7.4 Chinatown Business Community Association. Shulan Shubert-Kwak, please.
Thank you, Chair. I will make it brief because my main focus is really on a lot of questions. People are asking, oh, Chinatown doesn't have enough parking. Oh, we're not coming to Chinatown to shop because we don't have enough parking. So they're repeating the same old fallacy that's been spreading. And so we're trying to change this. So I wanted to inform the public that we have 9 city parking garages in our city, downtown to Chinatown. And the city garages are quite cheap to park at 75 cents the first half hour and then $1.50 thereafter. And then we have 6 private parking lots at $2 an hour. So I will name the parking garages and also the special rates. At 5:01 p.m. from Monday to Friday, you can get a flat rate parking from 5:01 p.m. to midnight, around $5 an hour. I mean, $5 flat rate. And on Saturday, Sunday, and holidays, same thing, from 6 a.m. to midnight at $5 flat rate. So there's no reason to not come, shop, and eat, and visit Chinatown. So the 9 parking garages owned by the city building is Marine Tower, Harbor River, Harbor Court, Chinatown Gateway, Smith Baritania, Pawahi Harley, Kekaliki Courtyard, Kukui Plaza, Ali'i Place. And the 6 parking lots are in the, and then, oh, of course, the private ones are also Chinatown Cultural Plaza from 5:01 to 9 o'clock, $5, okay? Private lots across from Duke's Bistro, private lot across from Monarchia Marketplace, private lot from Smith across Skyway Travel, private lot across Murphy's Bar and Grill, Mark's Garage, private lot in the corner of Nuano and Chaplin. So there is really no reason that people keep saying no parking in Chinatown. And also the fallacy that Chinatown is dirty. It's not dirty, it's quite clean. And we don't have smells of urine or doo-doo because people are keeping those streets clean. So I encourage you not to spread false information. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone here in our library have any questions for Shulan Shubert-Kwak? Anyone online? Any board members? No? Then we're going to go ahead and move to 7.5 Neighborhood Citizens Patrol by Kevin Lai.
Chair, thank you. Hope everyone can buckle in. We'll had not yet spoken about Hotel Street and the personal vehicles, but again, we need to get the city to work on some better signage to prevent things like this from happening. Danger can be found anywhere, not only on just a street. You might find a smashed up fish tank. Fortunately, no fish were found in this incident. We talked with HPD last month about the bushes, the hedge that's along Vineyard Boulevard next to one of the mortuaries between River and Mauna Kea Street. You know, danger might hop out from there at any time, so please be aware as you're walking around. You might find danger in the middle of the street when people still continue to fail to make forward progress across marked crosswalks. Could be anywhere at any time, so be very vigilant and diligent when you are driving. Could be in a bike lane, could be in a large, wide, one-way street. There is still a little bit of trash in Chinatown. Nobody's going to deny that. We want to make sure that lights stay on. Patrols can happen to keep these things from happening. And again, we know of some individuals who chronically still need help to get their medications. This gentleman that I've talked about here before, his situation has not changed. And we really wish we could get him the help that he needs. MH1 is called with HB. They come and he goes to the ER and he's back out within 4 hours. So really haven't found the right combination to help this gentleman. We wouldn't be a report without talking about the birds in the neighborhood. Again, they're all over the place. We know how bad they can be and how annoying they can be. but there is a little bit of a light in the tunnel. With the exception of this security cat, which is doing a very poor job of keeping things straight. I don't know who hired him, but not going to last. By the way, this is Smith Beartania Mini Park, where there's just a panoply of birds all the time. But this gentleman, rooster here, was near the corner of Nuuanu and South Kukui Street. There were some kids coming by who looked like entrepreneurs. I offered them the rate of $1,200 per hour to catch that chicken. They immediately threw down their backpacks, ran around, caught the bird, and within less than 60 seconds. And so they took him home as their new pet and took their $20 cash payment. This is the Rooster Relocation Program. It's an offshoot of the former See a Rooster, Eat a Rooster program I talked about 2 years ago. But the sad news is, despite this success, which I think came at a much lower cost than the city subsidized chicken traps from Sandwich Isle, soon there are now 8 additional rooster-led families in the area. So again, long-term help is needed. We need some support. They just don't stop. And again, encourage everyone to join us the second Tuesday of every month, Cooley Plaza, 7 p.m. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, everyone. Now we get, anyone have any questions in the library for Kevin? None? Anyone online? None? Any board member? None. All right, now we get to my resignation. Yeah? Okay. So this is the part that we've added 7.6, item 7.6, announcement by Ernest Carvalho to vacate the position of chair, to be immediately followed by a board vote to elect a successor as chair. I would like to take a time to make the statements. I'm going to go to that. So first of all, I wanted to address all of you here. It's been 10 years, just a little over 10 years that I started on the board, and I felt that it was time to step down at this point. Each and every one of you, each with your own individuality, have taught me a lot. But what made me who I am wasn't this board, wasn't a title. It was being able to take what I got from here to go outside in the streets and work those streets. Sulan, you've been a mentor, teacher to me, and I appreciate that. Sean, strong friend who supported me. Ross, also a strong friend, and Dan, a strong friend. Kevin, me and you may have our difficulties, but in the end, I did learn a lot from you. You teach me, you make me want to study more, and I appreciate that from you. Mr. Armstrong, you and I were back and forth, but in the end, we still are friends, and that is important to me. Laura, your mom meant a lot to me, and so do you, and I appreciate everything you do for me. Shintani, you're the baby of the group, and I love to see you here because I see you blooming. I see you at so many different events that I'm going to now, yeah? And so I see you out there on the streets and doing great. Keep on doing that, all right? So I wanted to say to all of you, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And to the public, thank you all very much for supporting me in everything that I do. All right? So now we can go to the vote. We pass together. Read this, please. Thank you. We pass together over. Sean. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Ernest, for your service. We all appreciate it. Best wishes going forward into your future endeavors. Now, we have to elect the chair. Mr. Lai.
Chair, thank you. Congratulations for ascending as our chair pro tem. I think that the neighborhood plan is clear that when there's a vacancy in the chair, this is what happens. The vice chair shall serve as the chair pro tem until a successor is elected. My understanding when we made this motion to amend the agenda earlier was that it would be to acknowledge and accept the resignation of Mr. Carvalho, and of course, until his letter of resignation is received by the executive secretary of the neighborhood commission. when we have elections for officers, this is an item that's on our agenda for duly noticed meetings. So I would caution moving forward. And that this may be something we would want to put on our next agenda so that the public will be able to comment on such, as is the case every time we have an inaugural meeting and a reassignation of officers, typically in our July meeting every year. So I think I would raise that and ask you to bask in your pro tem until next month.
Yeah, so
No.
before we move it forward.
Thank you, Kevin, for the comments, and I appreciate your concern about the proper notice being provided to the NCO regarding Ernest's decision to step down from his position. Given Ernest's representation earlier in the meeting, that he spoke with the NCO extensively about this, I think notice has been satisfied. I think it's very clear that the NCO is well aware that Mr. Carvalho's intent today is to step down as chair and for us to appoint a new one, which is why they gave him specific protocols that he articulated at the onset of our meeting. So with that directive, I'm going to follow it. So at this time, I'll be taking nominations for the new chair of Neighborhood Board 13. Are there any nominations for chair?
I have a point of personal privilege, Chair. Thank you. If I could ask for a readback of the actual motion to amend the agenda from the top of the meeting, because I don't believe that the agenda as amended did include the election of a new chair. Again, regardless of if the neighborhood commission was informed about this, it's the public that we care about. That is the whole purpose of the Sunshine Law. And I cannot believe that we would even contemplate something. Again, enjoy it. Be the chair pro tem until next month. There's no need for us to push this. The public has a right to come, be involved in the nomination process, comment, as has been in the past. There's no rush.
I echo those comments. We cannot just let an executive, an unelected executive in the administration of this city government who changes every 4 years to set new rules and procedures. That's why we have the neighborhood plan, and we need to follow it. And I'm really kind of tired of the interruption of the rules and precedents of this, of the way we do things, because it's convenient for somebody on this board. We have to stop that. We have to get back to what's right and Robert's rules, and this can be put on the agenda next month and dealt with then. Please respect the public.
I understand your objections. I respect them. Notwithstanding that, I'm going to proceed. It's my purview to run the meeting as I see fit. No, it's not. It's Mr. Carvalho spoke extensively with the NCO about this protocol, and he was given directives. I have to trust that. I did not speak to the NCO, but I don't think Ernest is misrepresenting anything today. Go ahead.
According to what we amended, and I'm looking at it right now, Kevin is correct. The amendment, to amend the agenda, include the chair's announcement and put at 7.6 on the agenda. That's all they put on this.
Yeah.
So that's something you have to
Amended. So we did that, we're done.
Okay, so we have no comment? Okay. So over the objection, and you guys can make complaints if you want to the NCO. I just have to defer to the representations made earlier at the meeting and defer to their directives that was provided to the chair at the time. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm Patrick Smith. I do chair the commission. We weren't aware of that. I don't know. And I know. I know that is the NCO, but the commission makes the policies. I can't say definitively that this would be inappropriate, but it gives me severe concern that you're not following the proper protocol and putting this on the agenda. And, I'd have to say, to be just cautious, it would be prudent to put this off to next month. I would just ask that, Chair. Thank you. Or presiding officer.
Do you want to clarify, Ernest, about your communications with the NCO? Because I think the NCO exists to clarify these type of questions, right?
So the NCO did say, if the NCO did come to the point that if someone on the board, after I resigned, and I'm resigning as chair, not
Right.
resignation. So now that leaves an open spot as for chair open. And they said, if a board member says after I resign as chair that they like to make a motion to fill that spot, that they can at that point. I can't say it, but they have to say it.
As far as I recall, the neighborhood plan says the presiding officer becomes the vice chair and so on and so on. But the election itself, I don't know that that would necessarily follow that you have an election right at that moment. Can you cite in the plan where that is? And by the way, when you say the NCO, who exactly did you talk
to
to?
Dillons, the Dillons.
Okay. So Dylan Weitzel, probably, right? I don't know. I would just advise caution, but.
No, appreciate your on this. I mean, I think the neighborhood plan is clear that you need a letter of resignation to resign as a board member. I think you can resign whenever you want because the neighborhood plan is silent to that. I think the neighborhood plan also says as soon as you resign, the vice chair becomes chair pro tem. And I think it also says you elect a successor. We made a motion at the beginning of the meeting for him to resign as chair and elect a successor. It got voted with 6 votes. So appreciate your opinion, though.
And I think you can also resign by not showing up too. So you don't even have to issue a letter of resignation to resign.
May I say something? He is not resigning as a neighborhood board member. He is only resigning as an officer of this board. And this board voted 2/3 to amend the agenda today in order to help the new chair get elected so that they can prepare for the next month's agenda. There's a lot of work to do being chair. Getting mail, getting everything, and then putting it together into agenda. So if we wait till next month, it's going to be more difficult for the community. So I don't see anything wrong with this because it's past the 2/3 votes. So I would say that neighborhood plan meant well, but he's not resigning from the board. He's still an elected member. He's only resigning as chair. So it's just an office change.
And I would add that it smells. It just smells. And I think the public can see that it feels like there's a plan going on behind the scenes, or there's a little bit of a coup happening here to make sure that they don't lose their power this side of the table. And we've got to, just be honest and transparent about that. This was all cooked.
So Robert, I'm going to say something real quick.
Bob.
But if it's not, then wait 30 days.
Bob. Like, no matter what, decision is made, if you have an issue with it, complaints can be filed. Okay. There's a complaint process, right? And if the directives that were provided by Ernest, by the NCO were incorrect, so be it.
Please don't be so solicitous as that about complaints can be filed.
Why not?
You know how vapid the neighborhood commission office is. You said it yourself.
No,
and yes, you have in the past. And we've certainly had a lot of issues about procedures and stuff. So
objections are noted. It's just, I think I think it would be a disservice to the community to have no chair elected.
there's the chair pro tem. It's you.
I know, and I heard the motion. I'm making a motion. Is there any nomination for a new chair at this time? There's no nomination. We can table it for the next meeting. But if there's a nomination, then we have to proceed by the amendments that we voted on earlier in this meeting. That's what
So I'll make a nomination. I'll nominate Rossi Sakani.
Okay. Is there a second?
I will make a nomination. Is it interesting? Dan Messer.
We have 2 nominations, Mr. Isokani and Mr. Mestis. Are there any other nominations? Go ahead, Mr. Lai.
Chair, thank you. Again, what we're doing is not on the agenda. before we do
We
any of
amended the
this,
agenda, didn't we?
we amended the agenda to accept a resignation from a chairmanship. At that time, you became the chair pro tem.
And I made a motion for, if anyone has a nomination for a new chair.
That is a motion that needs to be added to the agenda. It is a amendment that is without notice. It requires 2/3 majority of this board to effect a change on the agenda, and we have not. And then the public, again, neighborhood plan 214-118 must be provided an opportunity to comment in writing or oral testimony for any agenda item. So there may be some people that didn't know this was going to happen tonight. Again, we just need to follow the
So
rules.
are
guys.
there any, okay, so what comments are there that I'm missing? Everyone's making their comments?
So the public doesn't pick the board people. The boards pick who their officers are. This is administrative. It's not like it is the Light Up Honolulu City Parade. And that's where the issue came in. This is an administrative issue, not a public issue, because public does not pick the chair. Now, if you want to go ahead, then we can go ahead and make a motion. At this point, no, you said this is not on there. We can make a motion, and I'd like to make a motion that we go ahead and pick a chair at this time.
With all due respect, Ernest, I think this is where we have a fundamental disagreement between your orientation and my orientation, and this is how I want to frame it. Just listen for 30 seconds. We do not operate as independent contractors on a neighborhood board. We are supposed to represent the public.
No, this is.
And the public has a right to input into us what they think if they have an opinion, and then they don't. That's why we have a 30-day period.
Okay, did that happen when Dr. what's his name stepped down? I don't think so. Who's the doctor that was here before Nicole?
Yeah, but did he have an officer?
I thought he was. Wasn't he a secretary or something?
I think he was just a regular member. He was only on the board for
Okay.
like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, given the fact that there's 2 more minutes left, we can table this till next meeting. We'll put this on the agenda. First thing is the election of the chair at the next meeting, okay, in May. At this time, we're moving on to the approval of the minutes, 8.1.
Yeah.
I move that we defer this item.
All right, we'll defer the rest of
Second.
the, okay, is there a second? All right, we'll defer the rest of the agenda till the next monthly meeting. Thank you very much for your attendance. Thank you
Fair.
everyone online. See you guys next.
Before you adjourn, I don't think we've formally adjourned. So I think there are some key announcements. There's a food collection event tonight, I believe, that was announced last month. Secondly, there's the HECO meeting that's coming up that the public might want to attend about the rate increases that were announced earlier. And the final amendment to 9.2 is that OleloNet has changed its search function.
It's okay. This meeting's adjourned. Thank you very much, Mr. La.
There was an objection to that motion to adjourn.